Yes, guys, welcome back. I hope everyone's doing well. It is Friday afternoon. It's another show. Now, I know people want to talk about the midfield, the season that Liverpool could have, and I'm just going to do a bit of fun with this Roy Hodgson thing first, and then we can get into it, guys, yeah? Then we can get into it. A big afternoon to everyone. Everyone's doing well. Midfielder effed. And Roy Hodgson's, oh dear, the worst time to be a Liverpool fan. It certainly was. Afternoon training, that this brings back nightmares. It certainly does, guys. Look, I know everyone wants to talk about, all the stuff that's happening at the moment with Liverpool Football Club in the midfield area, talking about people leaving and stuff like that. We will get to that. Let's do this Roy Hodgson thing first. This should be fun. It's just going to be a bit of fun, guys. Take a bit of lightheartedness out of it, bit of enjoyment, something a little bit different, and then we get to the rest as we go. People watch big up Jay, what you saying, brother? Hope you and the family are doing well. Big up Savage. We're doing good, man. We're doing good. Hope you're fine as well, my man. The only thing good about this season is the kid. We got Jamie saying money's nearly happening. He certainly is. So as I said, guys, we'll do this, and after we finish this, we can talk about the subject of Liverpool and their midfield, okay, guys? So let's talk about the 2010 Roy Hodgson season. Everyone wants to forget about for a reason. So there's my daughter outside the door right now. Back in 2010, I'll be honest with you, I wanted to change throughout the club ownership, and I thought that we ran our course with Rafa and certain players. Big Les in the house. Shout out Jamie, putting in work all day, every day. 100. Big up to you, my friend. Thank you very much for kind words. So where was so bad, we were bang average. Jamie, we are signing Jay Spear. I don't know what's worse, kicking the balls in the 5 days out of 7, or the 2010 season. Well, let's get to it, guys. This is just a bit of fun, yeah? And then after we've had this bit of fun, we can go to the matter at hand, which is obviously the transfer saga at Liverpool as we speak right now. So the 2010-2011 Liverpool season. Obviously, it all started because Rafa Benitez got the sack the previous end of last season. In the summer, he got the sack. Rafa obviously took us to a Champions League win, obviously in 2005, an FA Cup win the following season in 2006, aka the Gerrard final. So, in his time, Rafa Benitez built a big team with Liverpool Football Club. He brought in some fantastic footballers. He probably made Steven Gerrard the player he is now. You can argue that Gerard Houllier started that, but Steven Gerrard under Rafa Benitez was a different animal entirely. Carragher was at his absolute best. We have players like Javier Mascherano, Xavi Alonso, Fernando Torres. He brought in some tremendous players in his time there, but unfortunately, I think we had 2 second-place finishes under Rafa Benitez. We couldn't quite just win the Premier League, so he got the old boot. He got the boot, and a certain Roy Hodgson came in, guys. Big shout out to Roy Hodgson as well, because at this time, Roy Hodgson, I do believe, went to the final of then, I think it was called the UEFA Cup still then, of the UEFA Cup. He took Fulham all the way to the final, beating Fulham. With Fulham, I believe they beat Juventus in the semi-finals, if I'm correct. Beating Juventus in the semi-finals on their way to a tremendous final. I think they just lost that. They obviously lost that final, but Roy became hot property. He became hot property. Now, in this time of ownership at Liverpool Football Club, we had the likes of Hicks and George Gillette in charge. I think it was Tom Hicks and George Gillette, but I think they were their names, that were in charge of Liverpool Football Club. They were our owners. Obviously, buying it out originally They were our owners. Rafa had a lot of inward fighting with Hicks and Gillette. I remember there was one season Hicks and Gillette gave Rafa Benitez a summer transfer kitty of £20 million. So yeah, it was. It didn't go well for Hicks and Gillette in their time at Liverpool Football Club. Then obviously Roy Hodgson put in a great performance as Fulham manager, getting them to a Champions League final. I mean, that's a big shout. You know what I mean? Getting Fulham to a UEFA Champions League UEFA Cup final takes some doing. It takes some doing, and he became hot property. He became hot property. So the 2002-11 season was the 119th season of Liverpool Football Club's existence and their 49th consecutive year at the top flight of English football. Liverpool obviously was sponsored by Standard Chartered back then. After their long deal running with Carlsberg had finished after 18 years. So this is the first sort of year of the Standard Charter as well, guys. You know, before that, it was all the it was Carlsberg for a long, long time. I used to like the Carlsberg sponsor on the shirt. It used to look nice. There was a lot of obviously. There was a lot of ups and downs. So Liverpool started their season with a pair of wins against Macedonian side Rapanachki on the 29th of July in front of a largely empty stadium. Jesus Christ. The side was their first competitive fixture under Roy Hodgson's 2-0 following a double Slavo from David Ngog, guys. I give you David Ngog because everyone remember David Ngog. And Steven Gerrard scored the penalty spot, and then Gog scored to make it 2-0. On the 15th of August, Liverpool entered entitled title contenders Arsenal at Anfield. The away side had the lion's share of possession, looked to be on their way to gain on to win that fixture when Joe Cole was sent off in the Liverpool game in his Premier League debut for Liverpool. Yeah, does everyone remember that game? So we obviously had Arsenal in our first game of the season. Joe Cole, got sent off. Does everyone remember that? Also, we got to remember the transfers, the players Roy Hodgson brought in. So, Roy Hodgson, obviously at this time, let me see where I can find it. Milan Jovanovic. Joe Cole, Christian Poulsen, just to name a few. These were Roy Hodgson signings, guys. Roy Hodgson, Liverpool signings. Paul Kanchelski, guys, at left back. Paul Kanchelski, Jesus Christ. Let me get this up for you right now, guys. Let me get this up for you right now. Let me see if I can find it. Because there's one where I did have it here on my file. Let me see if I've got it up. There we go. Let me get this up for you right now so you can see it physically. But yeah, we bought a heck of a lot of shite. Danny Wilson was obviously a buy as well. Christian Poulsen. Yeah, and then Paul Kanchelski. So we bought, because John Joe Shelby was in the Liverpool team, but he was bought under Rafa Benitez a few months before. So Roy Hodgson's first transfer season, his first and only transfer summer with Liverpool Football Club, he bought Milan Jovanovic from Standard Liège on a free. He bought Joe Cole from Chelsea on a free. And he bought Christian Poulsen from Juventus for 4.5 million. Juventus probably couldn't wait to get rid of him. And at the time, Christian Poulsen was 30 years old. 30 years old, Christian Poulsen was. 30 years old. And then Danny Wilson obviously came from Rangers at the same time for £2 million. So yeah, they were the players we brought in, guys. That was the transfer summer. that was our transfer summer, guys. So I'm going to just get something up for you right now. Let me see if I can do do that. Yeah, so that was our transfer summer. So, you know, when people complain about the transfer summer we're apparently having today, go back to 2010, guys. Go back to this. Look at that. That is Roy Hodgson's transfer summer there. Obviously, we bought Paul Konchesky as well, but that was after this photo with Dakin, Danny Ward, Milan Jankovic, Joe Cole. Yeah, times are bad, guys. That is Liverpool Football Club in 2010. You'd thought that was 1987. That is 2010, guys. The 2010-2011 season. Wow. Wow. I did like the Adidas kits, though. I've got to say that about that. I did like the Adidas kits back then, but look at that. Look at that, guys. Look at the state of that. I have, Liz, I have starred your super chat just to let you know, so I will read it out in a second. Thank you very much. I appreciate the love. So, yeah, that was the players brought in, guys, on his first summer season. So, let's go back to where we started in the league. So, obviously, we played Arsenal on the first game of the season. You know, Joe Gale got sent off for a late tackle on Laurent Konchesky. And in the second half, went away midfielder Harvey Maresco set up David Endog, who made a blistering run before firing the ball in the back of the net. At the end of the game, the one-man defect took its toll, and despite several spectacular saves from Pepe Reina, it eventually fumbled in an equaliser. A rare mistake from the Spanish keeper. Konchesky then was sent off for receiving a second yellow card before Gerrard fired a stoppage time free kick just inches wide. Fernando Torres returned to injury and was greeted with a standing ovation while coming on. I mean, the games, they were terrible. It weren't good, guys. It weren't good. We'll go through the results. So obviously, 15th of August, Liverpool drew that game 1-1 at home at Anfield. Then on the second game of the season, we obviously played Manchester City in the second game on the 21st of August 2010. Liverpool losing that game 3-0. Tevez got 2 goals and Gareth Barry scored 1 as well. Then on our third game of the season, guys, we won 1-0 against West Bromwich Albion, a Fernando Torres goal. Now, Torres obviously missed pre-season because of injury, but he's coming back into the team now. Now, we all know what happened this season, Fernando Torres. You know, this is the season Torres was off. And you can understand why, because these results are terrible. So, this is our first win of the season. So, we played Arsenal, Man City away, West Brom at home. And don't forget, this ain't the Man City of now. This is where Man City just got taken over. This is when they just got taken over. And we beat West Brom 1-0. The following week, we drew away 0-0 to Birmingham City. 0-0 away to Birmingham City. So that's 4 games in, guys. 4 games in. At this moment in time, we have got 4 points out of 4 games. Then, on the 19th of September, we lost 3-2. Following week, we lost 3-2 away to Manchester United. So, 5 games deep now. We've got 4 points, guys. 4 points. Yeah, it doesn't get better than that either. Then we drew 2-2 with Sunderland, guys. So now we've got 5 points in 6 games. Then we lost. This is the game, guys, the 3rd of October. Now, on the 3rd of October, I was actually on honeymoon. This is a thing for everyone to know. I was actually on honeymoon. The day we drew 0-0 to Birmingham City on the 12th of September 2010, that is the day I got married. That is the day I got married to my lovely Lauren. I got married in Turkey, for anyone asking. And then for the Blackpool game, because, you know, football comes first, you know what I mean? The wife stayed by the pool. I went back in our hotel room and watched Liverpool on my honeymoon. I watched Liverpool get beat at Anfield by what was it? By 2 goals to 1. By 2 goals to 1 by a Blackpool team. And a Blackpool team that Charlie Adams scored from the penalty spot. Do you know who got our goal, guys? Kyriakos. Kyriakos got our goal in that game. We were that bad. We were that bad, guys. Then it gets worse, guys. It gets worse. On the 17th of October, we lost 2-0 to Everton. So, guys, this is our 8th game, and we've only won 1 game. So this is our 8th game now. So we've just lost to Blackpool in an embarrassing result at Anfield. Then we lose away to Everton Football Club. Cahill and Arteta, the goal scorers. Oh, my word. Guys, this is what happens. You know what I mean? This is what happens. This is what happens, guys, when we play absolute shite teams. This is what happens with the Roy Hodgson season, guys. This is just a bit of fun, guys, just to show the world like how better we came as a football club. So 8 games gone, guys. We have had 1 win, 1, 2, 3 draws, and 1 win. So we're on 3, 4, 5, 6 points after 9 games, guys. After 8 games. Then we go on a bit of a winning run because we beat Blackburn 2-1. We beat Bolton 1-0 and we beat Chelsea 2-0. Then we have a 1-1 draw against Wigan. And then, as we know, things get a lot worse by then. Let's just take a little break from the scores. Obviously, we all know what happened to Roy in the end. Roy, he lost his job, and rightfully so. There was some bad games, obviously, in the League Cup. So, in the League Cup, in the 3rd round of the League Cup, we got drawn at home against Northampton Town. So, you got Northampton Town in the League Cup. That was on the 22nd of September 2010. And when you play in the League Cup, you're like, okay, Northampton Town at home, that's a win. We'll go through that. Nope. 2-2 draw. 2-2 draw against Northampton Town. Jovanovic and Ngog. So Jovanovic scored in the 9th minute. We were 1-0 up till the 56th minute when McKay scored for Northampton. Then Jacobs, in extra time, put Northampton 2-1 up against the mighty Liverpool at Anfield in the League Cup. This is Northampton Town. Then Ngog scored in the 116th minute of extra time, and then Northampton Town beat us on penalties. At that time as well, obviously, things were going from bad to worse. There was only 22,577 people in attendance for that game. That shows how bad it was. It just shows how bad it was, guys. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. In obviously the Europa League was a little bit different. This is the first phase of the Europa League as well. If we go for our Europa League results, we believe we finished top of our group in the Europa League. In a group with Napoli, we finished 6th. We finished top of the group with 2 wins, 4 draws, no losses, 10 points. Napoli finished 2nd on 7 points, and Utrecht and Standard Brugge. Utrecht finished bottom of that group. So Liverpool had some decent results in the Europa League, but it weren't to last, guys, as we know. I think we went out quite. Who did we go out to? Went out to Braga, didn't we? Yeah, went out to Braga in the last 16. So we played in the last round of 32 after the group stages. We played Sparta Prague, and we only went through 1-0 in aggregate over 2 games. It was 0-0 in the first game in the Czech Republic, and then at Anfield we won 1-0 thanks to a Dirk Kuyt goal, which came in the 86th minute. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was, guys. And then we got Braga in the round of 16. Braga in the round of 16, we lost 1-0 in aggregate against Braga, so we went out of Europe by the 17th of March. Obviously, by then, Liverpool were run by Kenny Dalglish, which we'll get to, guys. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get some of your chats now, guys, and see what you guys are saying. The only, oh yeah, big up you go. The only thing good about this season was big up Jamie said yeah, money in left. Oh yeah, I read all these. Yeah, big up Big Les, big up. We were so bang average, yeah. Jamie, we are signing JSP. Oh yeah, I read that. Joshua in the house. How you doing, my friend? Cheers, Jamie. Good evening. 7:34 p.m. here. Pablo in house. Happy to see you live, Jamie. Been a few tough days for myself. Oh, Pablo, what's the matter, man? Hope you're all right. Liz with a super chat. Big up, Liz. Hiya, Penny. We love you. You're a superstar. I will let her know, Liz. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really do. Torres should have left before the season started. Yeah. Happy birthday, Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, I think it was yesterday, I believe. Sorry, you're having a rough time. Alonso leaving was the start of the downfall. It certainly was. Ngog's goal versus Arsenal was quality. It was. It was the only bit of quality Ngog ever produced. When you say Roy Hodgson in NFC in the same sentence, I'd rather you drop me off somewhere cold in Russia, and I'm a black man, old, a wound, but that is still throbs. Big Les up in the house. I can share the stream, Jamie, for Jamie's walk down memory lane. Exactly. The owls. Jamie, that season was the worst. It was that. It is. That's why I'm starting from it. It's a bit of fun. Rafa had to go at the end of he ran out of ideas. Yeah, Rafa's done. Life was done. Hicks, Town, and Gillette razors, not the best Liverpool could get. Oh, I see what you've done there, Trudham. Hicks and Gillette wanted to move Anfield, Jamie. I will never forget that at Stanley Park. Yeah, does everyone remember the Hicks and Gillette thing when they started putting the shovels in Stanley Park like they were going to start the rebuild there? It's never going to happen, was it? Leave Anfield alone is what I said. Hicks and Gillette were an effing nightmare. They certainly were. Breaking news: Liverpool are in talks to sign world-class duo Christian Poulsen and Paul Konchesky for a combined fee of $8.5 million. I don't know about you guys, but I have revelations about this transfer. Oh, dearie me. I remember these times, mate. Yeah, we almost went out of business. Poulsen is an exciting signing. He ran the Sevilla midfield. Hicks and Jet destroyed Liverpool. Horrible. Christian Poulsen's all you need to know, guys. Jankovic was dog poo. He certainly was. My heart can't take memories. My heart can't take the memories these times. I know, Demo. I know. Hi, Jamie. I've seen you with your cat down the corner pin. Jeez, why does everyone sort of know where I live? Big up. Hey, Sal. Big up. At the end of this stream now, this is the bringing back bad memories. Paul Konchesky, Brad Jones, Danny Wilson, Milan Jankovic, and Christian Poulsen. That is it. Roy was there just to troll us. I'm convinced Jankovic was absolute toilet. Roy should would have been brought Danny Murphy back from Bobby Zamora. I know. Jamie changed the topic. We're almost finished. This is what Arsenal fans must feel like now. Oh my God, I feel like throwing up. Exactly. And Jesus, guys, you don't even want to know where we were in the league at this time. We were 17th in the Premier League. We were 17th in the Premier League in October. 17th in the Premier League, guys. So I'm going to give you our squad. This is the Liverpool squad then, guys. So Brad Jones, Pepe Reina were our goalkeepers. Glenn Johnson, Daniel Agger, Fabio Aurelio, Kyrgios, Danny Wilson, Jamie Carragher, Martin Kelly, Martin Skirtle, John Flanagan, and Jack Robinson was our was our defenders. So 4 of them come from the academy. This is obviously the season that John Flanagan sort of broke into the Liverpool team a little bit, wasn't it? It's just the season he sort of broke in and started making a bit of a name for himself. Obviously, he went on to be an absolute prick. But Glenn Johnson was obviously a fantastic right back, wasn't he? He was a fantastic right back, Glenn Johnson. Daniel Agger, for his time when he was fit, Daniel Agger was a tremendous centre back. Fabio Aurelio was a very underrated left back. Kyrgiakos was, and obviously you had Jamie Carragher, but Jamie Carragher is 33 here. We're coming up to the end of Jamie Carragher. And then you got Martin Skirtle, who was only 26, but looked 42. And Jack Robinson, Jesus Christ. And in midfield, we had Raul Morales from Porto. Stevie G, obviously. It's 31 here, Stevie G. So we've got a 31-year-old Steven Gerrard in this Liverpool team, and we give him this squad. This is why I keep saying to people, Steven Gerrard is the best English midfielder of his generation. Because listen to this midfield that Steven Gerrard had to play with. This is what I'm saying. Raul Morales, Joe Cole, Danny Pacheco, Maxi Rodriguez, Dirk Kuyt, Lucas, Jay Spearing, Christian Poulsen, and John Joe Shelby. That was the midfield we had in 2010. It's why I say Stevie G's the best ever. And we only had 2 strikers by the end of 2010. Milan Jankovic and David Ngog. We only had 2 strikers because we sold a certain Fernando Torres. We sold a Fernando Torres who unfortunately left us for £50 million, a record at the time to go to Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, it weren't good, guys. It weren't good. Our top goal scorer that season was Dirk Kuyt. Dirk Kuyt was our top goal scorer that season with 15 goals. And this was all competitions, by the way, not just the Premier League, all competitions. Dirk Kuyt was our top goal scorer with 15. Maxi Rodriguez, who was an underrated player, I like Maxi Rodriguez, was our second with 10. Fernando Torres, 9, considering he left in January. Stevie G only scored 8 goals that season, 4 in the league, 4 in Europa League, and then David Ngog. But things started to brighten up a little bit, guys. Things started to brighten up a little bit. We've got to remember this. Things did start to get a little bit better, guys. Demo and everyone. Things started to get, my eyes are bleeding. Things started to get a little bit better. So, in the January, we signed a certain Luis Suarez from Ajax. We signed a Luis Suarez from Ajax and an Andy Carroll from Newcastle. Now, who came in? Who came in at the end of 2010 for Liverpool Football Club, guys? Hicks and Gillette had to sell up. And who came in? So, Martin Brotman was brought in as chairman until the 1st of December. At that time, he was brought in to oversee the sale of Liverpool Football Club. From Hicks and Gillette, we almost got into administration. Obviously, at that time, we all know who came in. FSG came in. FSG came in and bought Liverpool Football Club for 300 million. Liverpool Football Club today is worth 4 billion on the market, apparently. If we look at the stock market, apparently Liverpool Football Club now is worth 4 billion. They bought it for 300 million, which is mad. When they came in, Roy Hodgson got the sack on the 8th of January. And King Kenny Dalglish came in and filled that role. Obviously brought people like Steve Clark with him, if you remember rightly, guys, as his assistant and his backroom staff. Brought the likes of Steve Clark with him. We ended up this season eventually finishing 6th in the league, which is crazy when you come to think about it. The lowest home attendance that season was 35,000, by the way, on New Year's Day versus Bolton. The highest was 44,000 versus Everton. Yeah, and so Luis Suarez came in the January with Andy Carroll. Now, Andy Carroll was obviously a mistake, cost 50 million, broke all kinds of records. We had a few good months with Newcastle and we went a bit mad on him. Obviously, it didn't work out, but the one that did work out, Luis Suarez, what a player Luis Suarez became for Liverpool Football Club, and especially under Kenny Dalglish at the time. So we finished the season quite strong, guys, especially under Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez, came into the team, gave us a bit of something new. We pushed Stevie forward a little bit more. Yeah, and things happened. And we got a bit better, guys. But Roy Hodgson will always be the man known for saying the immortal words, Liverpool are not too big to get relegated. That is what Roy Hodgson said, guys. Liverpool are not too big to be relegated. Them immortal words came from the words of Roy Hodgson himself back in November when Liverpool were almost at the bottom of the Premier League. Times are different, guys. Times are different, guys. Suarez joined Liverpool, obviously, made a massive difference to the club. And his signing, obviously, the following season, helped out massively. And he went on to be an absolute legend of a player for the football club. Obviously, as a human being, we know we just don't talk about that. But yeah, the season also, Liverpool recalled purchases and departures, and Fernando Torres left for Chelsea and being replaced by Newcastle's Andy Carroll. Liverpool received 50 million for Torres and paid 35 million for Carroll, sorry, not 50. 35 million for Carroll's services. Both transfers occurred during a busy transfer deadline day on January the 31st, where Liverpool also broke its previous transfer record by only paying 22.5 million for Luis Suarez. During this time as well, John Flanagan and John Shelvey both made their debuts for Liverpool Football Club. But yeah, Andy Carroll cost 10 million more than Luis Suarez. This is why we call the thing. This is why it's called English tax, guys. English tax. Andy Carroll cost 10 million more than Luis Suarez. It's absolutely nuts. On the 8th of January 2011, Liverpool announced that Roy Hodgson left the club by mutual consent and Kenny Dalglish was appointed manager until the end of the season. Under Dalglish, the squad fortunes improved, taking wins against top sides like Chelsea and Man United, and their resurgence saw Liverpool rise up to 5th in May. Despite their reinsurance, Liverpool eventually finished 6th in the Premier League, having to fail to qualify for Europa League. Now, what that just shows is once we got rid of Roy, remember, we were at the bottom of the league. Kenny came in the January, took us all the way back up again. We went on a nice run, good running results as well, guys. And things started to turn for the better. Luis Suarez was playing more and Stevie G was pushed up more. Stevie G was happy now. He had Kenny there. Things started to look good. Obviously, Kenny then stayed on for the following season. We know what happened that season. Won the cup, got to another final. And, he brought Steve Clarke in. That were better times. But my whole point of showing you all this now, guys, was just to show, things can get worse at any time. Things can get worse at any time, guys. So, where we are now as a team is light years away where we were in 2010. 2010 was a terrible year for us, and a year, that we'll always remember for the worst. We'll never be forgotten. We try and put it at the back of our minds, but I've just told everyone now. So, yeah. But, guys, I just wanted to do this little special for you. I just wanted to talk about it. It's something I might continue doing as well. I might do the 2011-2012 season next when Kenny Dalglish had his first full season. You see the evolution of the football club. What I'm trying to do, guys, is basically show the evolution of the football club through its darkest time, which is around 2010, to where we are now. That was my whole point in this series. So I will continue it going forward because obviously we know it gets better. The story gets better as we go on. So it's something I want to continue doing, guys. I'll only do it for a little bit, like a little video like this. I've gone on for like 35 minutes. Now we can talk about everything else you guys want to talk about regarding transfers and the club and stuff like that, guys. But I will continue this story. So next week I'll be doing the 2011-2012 season, where things did get a little bit better. You know, we had cup finals, things like that. You know, Kenny Dalglish in charge. Things did look a little happier and things were moving a bit better, guys. So, and then obviously the season after that, we all know it was a great season as well. So things did get better. But I'm going to tick to your chats now. I'm going to get through your chats now. And then after I've done that, we're going to talk about all things Liverpool Football Club right now, right this second, guys. So, average signings. Yeah, it's what Arsenal must feel. Relegation material. My eyes are bleeding. The king came. Take the beers down. Hurts my eyes. Big up Liz as a super sticker. Big up Liz. Much love. Demo, I feel you, brother. Arsenal fans must wake up with constant bad moods. Exactly. Big up Marvin. Roy Hodgson is at bottom of the pole manager. He certainly is. What you got to remember about Roy, though, Roy went to West Brom after Liverpool and did a really good job. But it just shows that Liverpool Football Club was too big for him. It was just too big for him. Yeah, Jamie sent you a DM on Twitter. It's funny and real. Okay, I'll have a look in 1 second, my man. Horrific memories with Adidas. Yeah, I mean, the kit. If there's anything to go by in 2010 season, guys, it was the kit. The kit was great. But that was about it. That was about it. The kit was fantastic. Everything else stunk. Torres had already had it. Torres was like, I've had enough, man. I'm off. I am leaving this shit show. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Pan. How you doing, my friend? Whoever started a channel in my... Whoever started a channel in not my name, why? Oh, what? What's going on, Liz? And he had a full season. Genuinely believe we go down. Yeah, same. 2010 was the beginning of the end for my relationship. She kept saying silly things like it's just a game to me, make me feel better. Come January, I had enough of her and Roy, and they both had to go. Jesus Christ, Hugo. We won a game. Yeah. Liz, I'm so confused. Have you got 2 channels? Yeah, I'm a bit confused, Liz. Oh, no, I've just seen. Yeah, someone called Liz Golden sent a super chat that ain't. I've just seen, yeah. So you got Liz. Liz has got her own picture there, guys. So that's Liz there. That's our Liz, the mod mother. And the other Liz has just got an L. Oh, I see. Yeah. Liz, have you got two YouTube channels? Horrific. Yeah, Liz, have you seen who it could be? Do you know who it could be? So I thought I didn't realise it was 2. I didn't even notice till you just said. He had a full season. Genuinely would have gone down. Afternoon. Yeah, Liz with the supers. Yeah. I don't know. You guys don't know. It's quite concerning. I'm sorry to hear that, Liz. I don't know who that was, Liz. I can try and find out. Whoever was the Liz Golden that sent the super sticker, can you please let us know why you've got Liz's name in your YouTube name as well? Because this is the real Liz right here, the mod mother. So unless it's just a coincidence, your name is Liz Golden as well. But yeah, Liz would like to know. Liz would like to know. I would like to know. Liz is the best. So yeah. Good afternoon, Jamie. Was the Birmingham City a league game? Yes. We was amazing. Actually, no, I only did one. Someone is trolling me off, and I think it sucks. They certainly are. I'll find out for you, Liz, okay? Hodgson days were very dark days for Liverpool. Still don't believe we had as a manager. I know Roy Hodgson should never have been near that Liverpool job. Charlie Adams, Blackpool. That was when Roy Hodgson's out, Blackpool game. Yeah. Was that when Charlie Adam turned David Silver against us? It certainly was, Timo. Timo remembers. That was a memorable season, let's be honest. Yeah. It gets better, you mean? It does get better. It's all good, Diz. We know which one of you are because you're the mod and the member badge. Imposter Diz can do one. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know who the imposter Diz is, but I will find out. Hey, mods, if you could report that it's golden, suit stick it. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, mods, just do your thing. Y'all big up. Mods assemble. Help our Liz out. Help the mod mother out. Don't let anyone, just block, report. Don't remind me of the depressing season. We ain't too big for a club to be relegated. I know. Do you remember it? Bad owners. I want to talk about Klopp. We're going to talk about all that now. I was just doing a little show on it. Roy, the draw specialist, exactly. Blackpool at home, though. Didn't Gerrard miss a penalty against Blackburn? He did. I was at the Blackpool 2-1 defeat at Anfield and then the Chelsea home win. Big up Doug. We nearly went bankrupt. We did. 7th in the table in 2010. Football utopia losing the derby and God was useless. Douglas the Lionheart. Munsey in the house. At least you haven't got this shirt on. Big up Munsey. A lot of good players left when Roy joined. They certainly did. We're 18th place after match day 7th, 19th after match day 8th, and 18th after match day 9. It weren't good. We go down as he stayed, I agree. And did we play Braga under Roy in Europa? No, that was Kenny. So Roy left in January. So yeah, that was Kenny. This sounds very similar to a season Man United just had. If I say what a shambles, it does, don't it? Oh God, I thought I'd wipe my memory cleaner these days. It's oh yeah, I remember now. Braga, what a tough game. You know, I remember Braga. Their pitch is like inside a cave, ain't it? Inside a mountain. Like their stadium is built into a mountain, ain't it? Weird. 10 times worse than the Man United. Literally the relegation zone. Yeah, 15 more days. Big up. Cash fodder is getting emptied now. No more memories, please. Roy Hodgson didn't do well. Roy, didn't he do well? Yeah, he did do well at Fulham. Afternoon, Aaron. At least we brought one of the best centre forwards ever that season. Yeah, but that was more under Kenny. That was under Kenny more. You know what I mean? He shouldn't be allowed to put his name on his CV. When you go on the Anfield tour, you will struggle to find Roy's name on the manager's wall. It's in the smallest font. What a mess. It certainly is. That is so true as well. You see Kenny, big font. You know, Bill Shankly, Bob Paisley. Even Graham Souness is in bigger font. Roy's like, yeah, we've got to acknowledge him because he is part of our history, but it's like the smallest font. You have to really get up close to it. Big up, Gabriel. How you doing, my friend? 17th. Ouch. That team couldn't beat the under-23s now. That is so true. Spade in the ground in 60 days for the new stadium. Do you remember, Colin? You remember Martin Kelly and Flanagan were decent. Flanagan had that decent year that year. Martin Kelly was okay, but man, it weren't great. I'm convinced that Low-Key and the TVA sent Roy Hodgson because Liverpool's Nexus event to start the multiverse. Without this period, we would never have Klopp. Well, makes me feel better anyway. Flano was terrible, and everyone at the club and the top Reds rammed him down their throat, trying to make us like him. He had a decent breakout season, but then he was like shocking after it. And then, to be honest, we shouldn't actually be mentioning John Flanagan's name for what he did later on in life. Jamie Carragher's a legend. Remember Janovic header in the floor? I do. He did. He headed the floor. Oh dear. He did head to the floor. I didn't mind Agger and Skirtle. No, Agger and Skirtle, as a partnership, were fine. Agger's problem was he couldn't stay fit. If Agger could have stayed fit, decent centre, it's a tremendous centre back. Skirtle was good for his time. Yeah, and Lucas did turn out all right, to be fair. All I've seen is Hodgson era rubbing their face. And Gog, you know, yeah. We only had 2 strikers till the January, guys. At one time, we only had Ngog and Torres. That's all we had. And Jovanovic. We were terrible. Dirt Cat. Dirt Cat is a class act through and through. I love Dirt Cat. Beautiful person. Why am I doing this to myself? Living in the horrors of 2010. We called Carol for 35. We bought Carol for 35 minutes. I thought, yeah. Blame Jamie. Yeah. Guys, blame me. I wanted to start from the bottom of the barrel, the darkest time in Liverpool's period almost, on the playing field. Not like off the playing field, obviously it was darker times, but on the playing field, yeah, I thought I'd start 2010. And I will continue this series going on forward, guys. And next week, I'll do the 2011, 2012. And but that gets better, guys. Kenny's in charge. We've got better players in the club. Suarez's first season. It's a great season. We go to 2 cup finals. It gets better and better and better. And then obviously the season after that, Brendan comes in. We finish runners up. We got Sturridge, Coutinho's. So the evolution of the football club gets better and better. This is just the worst. We bought Carroll for 35. Yeah. King Kenny was the right man for the job. He certainly was. We sold Andy Carroll for 20 million. We're lucky to get even that. Yeah, exactly. Very lucky. Steve. His attitude was crappy. He never played to his potential. He only had a few good games, didn't he? He had a few good games, and that was it. Where am I? Stuart Downing. Yeah, that was the following season. That was the following season, I do believe, Mark. What's that? Oh, all the stuff. Big up Edward. Hearing them words send shivers down my spine. We definitely go down with Roy Hodgson stayed. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is Roy's CV. Switzerland, Inter, Blackburn, Udinese, Fulham, Liverpool, West Brom, England, Palace, and Watford. Laugh at that. That's not even all of it. Employees should have researched properly. Yeah, man, he's had a career. He's managed everywhere, hasn't he? Won the League Cup, Jamie. Yeah, that was the following year. Leisure spot on. Plus, the man had more interest painting the inside of his mansion pink and showing it online. Everton were crap, and they still are. Laugh out loud. That's remarkable. Check out Hugo's channel. There's Hugo's channel, guys. Go and check him out. Yes, it's something different. Good to look back in history. I like it. Liz, you wonderful human. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. This is the best. Why I don't like any Liz slander. Man United is a joke. Let's all go reading that line. Who thinks Brendan Rodgers should never have been given the Liverpool job? Ooh. I mean, maybe if we didn't have Brendan as Liverpool manager, we wouldn't have Jurgen Klopp now. I mean, maybe you got to think of it like that. Maybe. We signed Jay Spearing, I think. Jay Spearing came through the academy, I think. Yeah, there's a spoiler. We stayed up. There you go. Doug deleted that super sticker. Big up, Doug. Thanks, Douglas. This is Sin-Cara all over again. There's an imposter in the ranks. My guess is a United fan trying to infiltrate our fan base. What's weird about it, though, is they gave money. That's what's the weird thing about it. They gave money to the channel. So that's what's strange about it. There you go. There you go. That was Man United, Liz. That was Man United, Liz. That was a Liz Golden from another dimension. That was a Liz from another dimension. Is that what we're all saying? I'm going to try and find out who that was for you, Liz. Okay, so it never happens again, darling. Doug, my man, appreciate it, bro. Jamie, in these few days, it'll be emotional for Marley. It certainly will. Connor in the house, I swear. We're back in 2010 with Jay Spearing. So everyone loves a bit of Jay Spearing. Imagine Twitter Spaces in 2010. Oh, could you imagine, Jack? Could you imagine the shit? Oh, my word. Remember Stevie missing the pen at Blackburn? Definitely deliberate. Yeah, he didn't want Roy staying around, did he? He was like, I've had enough. Check out Doug's channel. Sub to the following channels. Big up Jack. Connor. Big up Jack. Jack, if football Twitter and fan channels were around him, we would have to go into hiding or choose violence. We would have been slaughtered. 100%. Right, guys, if anyone's about and wants to come on with me for the next bit, so Jack, if you're about, Savage, if you're about, if you're still online, if you want to come on right now, guys, and talk about everything Liverpool right now, you're more than welcome. Because now we're going to talk about Liverpool right now in this actual time zone, guys, in this dimension right now. Forget about 2010 now. Let's talk about Liverpool Football Club in 2022. So the transfer saga that is hitting our club right now. The transfer saga that's hitting our club right now, we're going to talk about. So, Jack, if you're about, Savage, if you're about and you want to jump on, you're more than welcome to. Big up Jay, mate. In my opinion, you have an agenda against Jay Spear and his work rate and his passion second to none. Hey, big up Noah. Big up Noah. Thoughts on the fixture list, says Ahab. I like our fixtures are quite decent. Let me get them up. Hang on. Let me get them up. I can't quite remember them all off by heart. Let's get them up, guys. Right. There you go. Savage and Jack, the link's in the chat if you want to jump in. Go for it. Go for it. Right, let me get the thing up. Sorry, guys. Let me get the Premier League fixtures up and we'll have a look. Let's get it all up. Everyone can see. Right. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so links in the chat if anyone wants to come in and have their say. Come and join me, guys. Come and join me as we talk Liverpool Football Club. Why not? Why not? So there you go. Share the screen. So there's our opening fixtures right there, guys. There's our opening fixtures right there. So we've got Fulham away at 12:30, the Saturday afternoon kickoff. The first Saturday game of the brand new season will be Liverpool away to Fulham. Then we got Saturday, the 13th of August, we're at home to Palace. Then we're away to Manchester United. Then we're at home to Bournemouth in our first 4 games. How's everyone feeling that for our first 4 games? How are we all feeling that for our first 4? There we go. Yeah, mate. And he's in. He's there. Jamie, as an Arsenal fan, mate, I hate that Premier fixtures are a disgrace, mate. There's an agenda. Ram, the link's in the chat, mate. Just come on in, mate. The link's in the chat. It's right there. Come on in, Ram, if you want. Come on in. More the merrier. Let's talk about Liverpool Football Club. How you doing, Savage? How's your morning?
How are we, bro? You're right.
Yeah. Good. There's Ram as well. How you doing, Ram?
Oh, man, I'm good. I'm not feeling well, though. I'm a bit ill.
But... so my Roy Hodgson stuff wouldn't have done much for you then.
Man like Rams and that with the monkeypox, come on.
Yeah. Let's go too hasty now. It's just a flu. It's just a flu. It's just a flu. Nothing major. I can still survive. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. So I don't know if everyone's seen lately, but the world's going mad because apparently our season is over before it's begun. I don't know.
What way?
I think we're looking at 16th place next season, to be fair.
In what way, Jamie? Is it down the gutter?
Have you not seen? Have you been on Twitter last night?
Nope.
Yeah, people are losing their mind, man.
People are losing their mind, Ram. Absolutely losing their mind.
Right.
Yeah, because we're not buying a midfielder, so they think it's game.
I think Arsenal tipped over the edge with the Vieira signing, innit?
Oh my god! Wow, Jesus Christ! I stay off Twitter. I stay off Twitter for one day, and everyone started to lose their minds, bro. What the hell? What is going on, people, man?
It's going mad. Like, look, it's like Usam. I like his content. He's a great guy, but yeah, he's not happy. I don't know if you catched his stream last night. The man's not happy.
Oh yeah, I did. I saw.
The man is not happy. Look, what I love about him, like what I do absolutely love about him, he backs up what he says, and he doesn't regret what he says either. So I do love that about him. What else people might think, I just don't understand the fighting and bitching. I really don't. Look, we've been here before. It's City are buying players, yeah. Tottenham are buying players, yeah. But I think we'll be all right next season, guys. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I think we'll still challenge.
We're morphing into Arsenal, man.
Yeah.
I think we'll still challenge. I don't know why people are saying the season's done.
Yeah.
Like, I think we'll be there or thereabouts. It's just a case of whether City can hold up, and I don't think City can. It's the curse of the three-peat. I don't think they can do a three-peat, in my opinion. The reason why I say us slightly is because I don't see City doing a three-peat.
Yeah.
Only two teams since the 1950s, since after the Second World War, that's done the three-peat, and that is Liverpool and United only, and that's what it's going to stay like that for the rest of history as well. So it's what it is.
It takes a lot to do three league titles in a row. It takes a lot out of you as well.
Yeah.
And you're saying like the chances. Look, obviously people are worried about Tottenham because there's rumours that Tottenham about Lautaro Martinez as well. By the sounds of it, though, that transfer is very hard to pull off for Tottenham Hotspur. But they're looking at him as well. Bit of a weird one, considering they got Kulusevski, Son and Kane. So that seems like a weird transfer. Arsenal bought a player they don't need, which is weird. I mean, Vieira sort of plays in that Odegaard position, don't they?
Yeah.
It's a bit
weird. I'm seeing on Twitter right now that a lot of people are taking the piss with Vieira because obviously we played him at the Stadio do Dragao, and Curtis Jones outshone him that game. It is, but I think Arsenal got themselves a good player. Do they need him? That's a different question. I think they need a striker more than they need him. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. I still don't think they're going to get top four, in my opinion, though. That's.
I don't think they are.
No, I think Tottenham signing's probably a sure that they get top four without a struggle, but I don't think it pushes them on from there. Chelsea's going to be the interesting one, and I think Liverpool and City go all the way again. But I think I agree with Ramsman. I don't think 3-peat or not. I don't think Man City can do it again. I think it's a lot for Guardiola to keep rethinking different strategies to keep Liverpool out. Last season was like a breather for them because of the COVID season and playing in front of no fans, even though all of us had to, so it's not an excuse. They deserve to win. But it felt like every game was a training session for them. Like every game, it was weird. But now Guardiola's got to rethink stuff again because it was 1 point and you can't have that. And the pressure for him to win the Champions League is building every season. He'll pretend like it never happened. He'll pretend like it wasn't in his remit to win, and the City fans will go along with it as well, which is fair enough, whatever. But they're definitely lying. The Champions League's needed. That's what Haaland comes in. I don't think he affects the Prem too much. They already outscored everyone. So, yeah, I mean, but they're losing players. I don't know if Gundogan's going properly. Sterling's going to leave, I think. It's going to affect their team, man. I don't think Grealish is it. So, interesting.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting the geezer from Brighton as their left back, don't it?
He's a baller, man. Cucurella.
Yeah, it looks like they're after.
He's from Barca as well.
Yeah, from their youth setup. He's a baller, man.
So, and it looks like they're after Calvin Phillips, which is a strange one to me, the Calvin Phillips transfer, especially with his injuries last season, and now he's picked up another groin injury.
Yeah, you don't ignore. It's probably the homegrown thing, to be honest, bro.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I'd say, he better not be like a Fabian Delph and start to become just a bit part player. He needs to actually perform and make a statement saying that, Rodri, I want to take your position. Otherwise, he's just going to be a waste of money.
It does look like that because Rodri's different. He's far better than Calvin Phillips. I mean, it's not even close. Rodri's.
I never knew the obsession with Liverpool fans wanting Calvin Phillips. I don't. The amount of money that we have to pay, I don't want him. I really don't.
No, it's got to be 60 million quid for Calvin Phillips. I don't think.
Yeah, no way.
Nowhere near. But yeah, this is the thing, guys. Everyone's going about midfield. So, so yesterday it all came out. One Paul Joyce tweet is all it takes, guys. One Paul Joyce tweet, and the world melts down into pieces. And look, he didn't say we're definitely not getting him in the midfielder. What he basically, the way he put it is, at this moment in time, there's not a target available that Liverpool basically want, so they're willing to wait till next summer.
Yeah.
But that don't mean if that target don't come available this summer, they won't go for it. Now, we was after Tuchemeni for a reason. That was genuine interest as well. Genuine interest. The reason we didn't carry on with it is because, Real Madrid came knocking as well. And you can't go into a bidding war with Real Madrid. You're not going to win. I don't remember anyone winning a bidding war with Real Madrid. I just don't think it happened. So Real Madrid offered, 80 million euros or 20 million added on. So 100 million euro transfer.
Yeah. How old is Tuchemeni?
I think it's 21, 22, something like that.
22.
Yeah. I gotta say this. I have to say this, man. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone's been talking about Tuchel. I mean, not everyone. I don't want to be disrespectful. Some people might have mentioned him before this transfer window and last season, but I wasn't hearing it online. Bellingham is better than Tuchemeni, bro. I'm telling you, he is.
Go.
Very different players, though.
Yeah, they are. But that's true. But if you're just talking about player for player, who's going to affect the team more going forward? I don't know, man.
It's like Tchouameni's like a SCN kind of player.
He's like a SCN player, yeah.
And Bellingham is more or less like a Ballack kind of player, very box.
Yeah, Bellingham can do everything in that midfield, man.
Yeah.
No one ever talks about Bellingham's techers, I don't know why, but this guy can.
Because he's English. It's because he's English. That's why.
He's so good.
I love Bellingham. Look, so obviously that's got people talking that, all right, we're obviously going for Bellingham. Bellingham's the player Jurgen Klopp wants, and they're willing to wait until next season for it. This is my problem with it. I did this in the video yesterday when I was talking about this yesterday. So my problem with this thing is, if you're going for Bellingham next season, that outlay is going to cost around 80 to 90 million. If he has a good World Cup, you could be looking at even more. So 80, 90 million outlay. Now, I think Liverpool can afford that outlay, but our problem is Mohamed Salah. I said this yesterday. If Mo Salah decides not to sign a new contract and leave for a free, you can forget about a Bellingham signing because we need a Mo Salah replacement. There is not going to be two outlays of that kind of price tag that we haven't got enough to sell to make that money either. So if Mo leaves on a free, the club are going to have to get a Mo Salah replacement for a midfielder. So that's why I'm saying just get the midfielder in now. Get it done now in some kind of way. So, okay. But also, at the same time, Liverpool Football Club must have some reassurances that Mo Salah's going to sign a new contract if they're thinking of getting a midfielder next season.
It's very possible.
Because that's the only thing I can think of, Ram. That's the only thing I can think of. Because if Mo leaves on a free, we have to get a Mo Salah replacement. We've got no one who can play on the right-hand side. Some people said Luis Diaz, but he's a straight line runner. He's on his left. That's where he plays. And we know Jota's dog on the right-hand side doesn't work. So you need a proper right-hand side forward to replace Mo. So that's a big outlay. So they must have reinsurance. The club must have reassurances. They think he's going to sign a new contract.
That's fair. That's true. I can't see us buying Bellingham and another winger, two important positions in our team, and one of them will be costing circa around about 60 million plus.
Yeah.
Plus spending about 150 million pounds on two players in one window. I don't think so. I think Salah will stay for another 3 years. I think we might sell him off if he has the season that he had last season and continues for the next 2 seasons. I think we can sell him off for a lot of money. I think we will sell him in the end, but not yet. I think when he's just about past his peak.
Well, I heard Roger Savage's point. I heard someone say yesterday on the Liverpool channel, and they were sort of taking the piss a bit, but I could see it actually happening, that Salah signs his new contract this summer, but because it's FSG, they sell him next year anyway.
Yeah, that FSG would do that. Man.
That is what we do.
Because
the problem is I can't see anyone in the world that is like Salah.
No.
Who's remotely close to what the kind of player he is.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it. Probably after his peak, you will sell him off.
Yeah.
For a younger player, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It's that's what we're saying, Savage. All this that people talking about, I'll wait till we get. If we're definitely getting Bellingham, we'll wait till next summer to get him. But if Salah leaves on a free, you're not getting Bellingham next summer. Simple as that.
Yeah, I don't think Salah benefit. I don't. It sounds weird because but Salah's world class, and it's not disrespectful. But I don't know what club does Salah benefit? Like, no one seems to want him.
No,
I don't think he benefits any club, because I think that the perfect match is Liverpool for him and him for Liverpool. I think, and Klopp. If you look at all the other teams around the world, and not all of the teams, but all the best teams, because he has to go to a club what's on Liverpool's level or below. There ain't who's above us really, unless he stays in the Prem and goes to Man City. So I don't see him doing anything at Real Madrid, PSG. PSG is a weird one, isn't it? Because they'll just sign anyone. Well, Mbappe might sign him and give him what he wants. But yeah, I don't see it, man. I agree with what you're saying though, Jamie. I think if we don't sell Salah, then it's going to be hard to get Bellingham in unless they just do something drastic. But I've watched Bellingham for so long now, even though he's so young, and one is going to make our club better, but you do not want that boy to end up in the Premier League at a different club, because we're finished then, bro. I'm telling you, if he ends up at one of these clubs who are either Man City or someone who's trying to come back up, or Chelsea or someone, it's over, mate. It's over, I'm telling you, because he's so young and got so much talent. Yeah, it could be a messy situation, to be honest. So we can't allow that. But like I said, I don't know. I'm not too upset at Salah if he wants to. Business-wise, yeah, but if it's somebody who just wants to honour their contract, everyone gets mad at it. But that's kind of what you want from a footballer. If you sign a footballer for 6 years, ain't that him committing, saying, I'm going to be here for at least 6 years? And then if he leaves on the sixth year, then you shouldn't really have a problem with it. His business ain't our problem, is it? Like, or our business ain't his problem once he's gone from Liverpool. You know, like when people were saying before about Alex Ferguson leaving Man U and look how he left him in the dumps and that. Yeah, but once he's gone, it ain't nothing to do with him.
That is true. That is true. That is true. You got a point there. But it's like Gunben says, I think if we were actually trying to sell him right now, if the club was not confident of re-signing, yeah, there must be something in it. There must be something in it if the club feel like they can afford to put a big outlay on a midfielder like Bellingham next summer. That it is Bellingham. Look,
it might not be. Yeah.
We're all talking about Bellingham, but I've not heard the club talk about Bellingham as this apparent signing. Who knows who they're bloody looking at?
Thing is, the club never really mentioned anything, and it's always journalists and that. If you Google Bellingham's name now, his name is out there with Liverpool. The only problem is that since them few tweets, it says Liverpool's business is done for the summer. But like me and you spoke about, that's not how. Since the birth of social media and football journalism and insiders, that's the whole point of them. They use the club to get their profile up, and the club uses you to put whatever message they want out there. And the message doesn't always mean that it's 100% at the time. Like, Liverpool might want everyone to think that the business is finished. Because if you're like Manu or someone, and you was going to try and sign Bellingham next season, and you heard Liverpool were trying to sign him this season, you jump into a bidding war. If you hear now that Liverpool are not interested with anyone, you can relax now and go, all right, next season we'll go in for him. But next season, that's Liverpool's plan. So it's here or there with it, man. I don't think, like, Paul Joyce is quite reliable, but at the same time, his information has to come from somebody, and that somebody might just want him to put that message out there. Doesn't mean that it's 100%.
I agree. A lot of people been talking about that, especially with Paul Joyce. So Paul Joyce, he obviously has got a big contact inside the club because
it's because he doesn't talk often, isn't it?
Yeah, because he gets a lot of stuff right. He's obviously got a big contact in the club.
Yeah,
and as you say, that contact could have just told him, look, Paul, put this out there in the world, put it in the paper, put it on Twitter, just to keep everything quiet. Because if everyone knows Liverpool are bidding for a player, as you say, then there's a war for that player, and the money goes up and up. So Liverpool like to do everything in the shadows, don't they? That's the way Liverpool like to do it, so they get best deals for their players. But look, I like the fact we don't buy a player for players' sake, aka like Man United. Man United will just buy a player for the sake of just buying a player. I actually like the fact we buy players that we want at the club, suit the system we play, that Klopp wants as well. I think that's really important, Ram, going forward. I don't know about yourself, mate, that we look at players in a different kind of way than some other teams in this league do.
Yeah, I think when it comes to, because of the way we structure things and the way we operate, there is literally zero room for error. Maybe like if you want to be realistic, like a 5% room for error. But when it comes to signings, we have to be 200% sure that they're gonna work. And so far, probably 9 out of 10 signings. Like we have a 90% success rate when it comes to signings. Yeah, we've had the odd, obviously, Karius was one. People would put Naby in that conversation. Personally, for me, Naby, the problem with Naby is just that he just never stayed fit. He always gets injured. To be fair, the only time he actually didn't have a injury-prone season was this season.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't muscular injuries. The only injuries he had was that really bad challenge from Paul Pogba.
Yeah.
That literally crocked him out for the
And he
next
was
couple of weeks. He was on very good form as well.
As well, wasn't he?
Yeah. So I think when it comes to us, the way we operate is very different from other clubs, because our owners have a specific way that is like their holy bible of sporting operations, trying to spend within the means and do whatever. And it is different from other clubs because certain clubs can afford to have a bad signing, like your Manchester Cities before Todd Bowley came in, Chelsea, even to an extent Man United as well. They can afford to, but with us, because we're still building our revenue up to be the best in the world, we don't really have that. Some people will say it's a bad thing. Some people say it's a good thing. All I'm saying is that people need to realize we have money. That's all I got to say on that.
Yeah, we have cash. There's no doubt about it. But as you say, we can't afford to make a mistake in the transfer market. That's basically our way. City can have. Let's face it. Jack Grealish flopped last year for £100 million signing, 2 goals, 2 assists. It's not a that's a flop as £100 million signing, but because of the way City are, it doesn't matter. They go and get Haaland the next season. It's just you can't compete with that kind of financial power. So we have to do it such a different way. We have to be so shrewd in the transfer window that we get played. I hear a lot of YouTubers, people on social media, a lot of people out there saying we could buy this player, that player, that player. Why are we waiting for this player, that player, that player? I can list off 10 midfielders we can get now. You hear it all the time. But if they're not 10 midfielders that Liverpool Football Club want, you're just buying players that the club don't think is any better in the team than what we got now. And as I keep saying as well, everyone keeps putting their dirty laundry outside FSG's door all the time. And when I come to think of it now, and this ain't an FSG in-app debate or anything like that, what I'm trying to say is you've got to look at it as a whole. Jurgen Klopp loves working with his ownership. His ownership loves working with Jurgen Klopp. They're quite in tandem together and they like to do business in football. If Jurgen Klopp weren't happy with everything, he don't sign a new contract. It's as simple as that. He might love the boys, he might love the team, but if behind the scenes he don't think he's suited to where he can take this club in the future, he doesn't sign. Jurgen Klopp's not a stupid man. Agreed. So when we're talking about certain players not coming to our club and players not leaving our club, you can't always just put your dirty washing outside the ownership door. You've got to look at it as a whole, in my opinion, a whole bubble. And this ain't me criticising Jurgen Klopp. I'm just saying I think Jurgen, he's paid a lot of money to be one of the best coaches and managers in world football. And for me, he's doing that at this moment in time. And if he thinks a certain player in our team at this moment can do a job for him, then we've got to go with what he says. It's as simple as that. If he thinks Harvey Elliott can do a job next season and Curtis Jones can do a job next season in the way he wants to play, and if their midfielders around at this moment in time ain't available, all the midfielders people keep shouting out on social media and other YouTube channels and stuff like that. Jurgen Klopp might be sitting there and thinking, I don't think they're as good as Harvey Elliott. So what's the point in buying them? And what's the point in buying them? So we can't just FSG could go to Klopp because they don't know much about football. Klopp does. So I think Mike Graham's the in-between between the two of them. He's the one who's in contact. He might be going, Jurgen, what do we... Hang on, Jamross, but Jane Phillips, you are too reasonable for you. I see things on both sides of the coin. I'm just not one-dimensional. I like debate about things where you look at both sides of the coin. You know what I mean? You can, not one person's always to blame for one thing. There's always something that made that one person do that thing. That's the way I always look at things. So I look at it, and Klopp might be like, FSG might be like, right, Jurgen might be phoning him up like, Jurgen, what do we need next season? The midfield's looking a bit thin. We're good in defence and attack. We've got Nunes in there. What do you think? And he might be sitting there thinking, you know what? I think I can get Thiago fitter this season. This is his first pre-season with us. Thiago's never had a proper pre-season at Liverpool. This will be his first one. He could get a proper pre-season out of him. Fabinho didn't miss many games last season.
No, about 3.
He didn't miss many games at all last season, considering the position he plays in. I think Rodri actually missed more games than Fabinho did last season.
Yeah.
And we've got players there that are injury prone, but Jurgen Klopp might just be looking at it and thinking, you know what, guys, he might be saying all these players, I personally don't think they're as good as what we got now, so it doesn't improve the team, in my opinion. So I'm ready to wait for a player. So Klopp might absolutely adore Jude Bellingham and think, if I can get Jude Bellingham in, he's better than what I've got. But at this moment in time, Borussia Dortmund don't look like they want to sell. So what's the point of making an offer?
That's what I was going to say to you, Jamie.
Wait till next season.
That's exactly what I was going to say to you.
It makes sense what I'm saying, or am I just jabbering?
No, because I have this feeling that, and I don't know. I don't pretend to be this insider. Like, everyone pretends to have all this information, what isn't even out there. But in terms of everything you just said, and then with Jude, his whole structure of him as a player fits Liverpool, and the attributes, the way he is as a person, the fact that his family's involved with everything, not about supporting the club, but the way they deal with stuff.
Yeah.
That's Klopp's kind of player. He loves the person first, isn't it? And what I said to you before is, I get it as well, because everyone just wants Liverpool to win, but it's almost like we want a personality transplant for Klopp. You want him to turn into this serial Pep Guardiola type winner. He's just not that kind of person. Like, he's just not. And we a lot of Liverpool fans were talking about the FA Cup and League Cup like it was just the FA Cup and League Cup. If you hear Klopp talk about it, he speaks about it as if it's any of the other trophies. The same what he did with the Club World Cup. If you go to German football, when they win their version of the FA Cup, it's massive. They have a parade just for that one trophy.
The next day.
When you see him on the bus talking, and he dropped in that just before it finished, and he said, "I don't care what anyone says," because he hears it, innit? And he's like, "I don't get it." He's like, "My club's winning stuff. I see these guys in training." The reason why he mentions what we said before about the beginning of last season, mentioning that Ox was world class, is because he thinks he's world class.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean Klopp's wrong, and it doesn't mean Klopp's right, because it's all perception, innit, from what he sees. Now, no one in our fan base thinks Ox is world class. That's fair enough, innit? But obviously, he thinks that certain things. That's why when we spoke yesterday about would he end up staying, mate, I wouldn't put it past him staying, bro.
I think he will now.
You know what I mean? For him, it will be based on game time, because he might not trust that. He's probably thinking to himself, Klopp said this before, and then when I go into the season, I was fit last season, I didn't get any games, or as much games as I wanted. And from Klopp's point of view, he's like, nah, trust me, you can play and all this. And I think you're right about Harvey and Jones. As much as what we think, Klopp really believes in these guys. We know for a fact with Jones, because he brought him into the squad in the first place. Could have kept him in the under-23s. And Elliott seems to be the big prospect. And then we got Carvalho coming in and stuff like that. So it's a bit of he's just not a serial winner in the way that everyone wants him to be.
No.
You know what I mean? It's not a bad thing. It's just that the fan base is. It's what it is, man.
Go on, Ram.
Just quickly before we head off. I think you make a good point, Savage. I think Jurgen Klopp is one of the kind of managers. Maybe people call it arrogance. Maybe people be him being big-headed about the way he sees football and how he wants to act as a manager.
Yeah.
But it is what Klopp does. Klopp doesn't like the whole we spend consistently £200 million a season. He's like, if we have the means to spend, go big, we do it on a player that we know that is going to be a top-class player. And I think on the point of Ox and him seeing Naby as potentially world-class players, I do personally think that it's because we've seen the other side of the coin with Jose Mourinho and how he outs his players.
Yeah.
That it has a significant impact on the team morale. We do not want to have the same thing in our squad. And
100%.
people forget Oxlade-Chamberlain's like, even though people don't rate him as a footballer, he is a massive part of the group.
Of course.
He is. And him being out of confidence or him having a falling out with the manager will have some problems. So that's why you hear Klopp talk very highly about all these players.
You're right, man.
But would I have to just ask you this question before I head off? Yeah.
Go on, mate.
Because quite a few of us, quite a lot of us are saying, even if we get Bellingham next season, we still need to get someone in this season.
Mm-hmm.
And if Klopp says no, and we don't end up achieving what we want to, does it come back to Klopp again? I'll just leave this out there. But Jamie, thanks for having me on the show.
You dropped the bomb and left.
I just dropped that bomb and left him, man. Like literally. But I'll be in the comments anyway, so like it is what it is. But appreciate you having me on. And I'll just leave you with that bombshell right there.
Go for it.
Big up Ramsman.
Much love, Ram. Yeah, I mean, it's got a bit of a point.
It's a great question.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a point. Before we get to that, there's other things I was thinking about Jurgen Klopp that separates him and Pep, because I see what Jamrock's saying here as well about the mentality between Klopp and Pep. And this is where the difference is. We lost the Champions League final to Real Madrid in that first time round when we lost 3-1 when Karius made them mistakes.
Yeah.
That night, Jurgen Klopp went to the pub and did a sing-song with everybody. Right after losing that night, he went to the pub. He went to a pub, and with all the Liverpool fans and Jamie Webster and all that, they all went and had a great time, like we won the trophy.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola would not do that.
No.
Pep Guardiola would go home, get the chest balled out. And
Pep might not go home, to be fair. He might go to a hotel on his own.
Yeah, and just get a chess piece out and pretend they're footballers and start setting up tactics and formations. Have
you seen how he drags his coaches on when he's sitting down? When he's getting picked up, he starts dragging them and that.
Yeah. The mentality of the two is different. Klopp, I do think when the game's finished, Klopp goes home to his wife at night. I bet he don't talk a lick of football.
Jamie, you know that 2-2 game with the Pep handshake at the end?
Yeah.
That handshake, because one thing I do agree with Pep is when you take it out of football, like when you take it away from the rivalry, I think he thinks a lot of Klopp. I really think he does. It's just that he can't show any weakness within the season. He can't have it because Klopp winds him up and it's followed him everywhere and it keeps bothering him. Like he was there at Dortmund when I was at Bayern Munich. Just leave me alone, man.
Yeah.
But that handshake, I know that handshake because we've all had it in life when the person is like, oh my God, I can't. You again.
Yeah.
Did you see Klopp's face? He was just chilling.
He don't care.
Remember that clip of in the Champions League when they're on a press conference and then Klopp goes, quick, Pep's coming. And then he runs off. Yeah. He's having fun with it now. Jamrock's comment was perfect. But and I'm not saying Jamrock sounds negative, but he says we have to live with the shortfall, which sounds negative, isn't it?
It's true.
I've lived with that since we got Klopp in. I've known about it. That he left the Dortmund team where people were taking his best players and he couldn't do anything about it. Yeah. And he didn't leave Dortmund early. The mentality is there. The fact that any other manager would be like, forget this. I'm going to another club where I can keep my best players. He's like, nah, it's all right. I'll stay here. I'll get in these players that no one knows about, Lewandowski, Goetze, and all that. I'll build them into... And he's just kept doing that his whole career. Mines don't really count because they were... To be fair, though, he got them promoted.
For the first time they hit.
So, remember, Klopp was like playing for Mines one day, and then the next day they made him player manager. The next day. And he's been a manager ever since.
Yeah, I mean...
So, he's just... Even with the COVID press conferences last season, when people were mentioning defenders and stuff, you could see he was caught between two minds, but he kept mentioning like, yo, this is going on in the world. Stop talking to me about transfers and that.
Yeah.
When was that Pep was not, he went on that, bro. He was just like, I need whoever I need, innit?
Yeah. Klopp's mentality is totally different.
It is, man. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think Pep's is a bad thing either. I just think it's two different
mentalities. Totally two different ways about the sport they're fantastic in.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. I think with Klopp, I think that's what makes him more endearing, though, ain't it?
It's where the Shankly comparison comes from.
Yeah, he seems like a family man. He seems like a man's man.
Man of the people, isn't it?
you could probably go out for I bet you could go out for a right piss up with Jurgen Klopp on a Saturday night. You know what I mean? Have the greatest night of your life. But if you took
Bro.
Pep for a Saturday night, it'd be depressing. You know what I mean? That is the difference between the two.
Because Pep would want to get home to talk tactics and that.
Yeah, he doesn't be home at a rigid
When
time.
Klopp was on that bus at the parade, yeah,
Mm.
you can watch it on camera as well, and you'll see there's something about this guy in it. And I'm not speaking about him like some messiah or whatever, but in terms of football, he was trying to make eye contact with damn near every fan that was outside. And I was watching him wave to individual people, not just throwing his hands around. Like, and I'm like, nah, this guy, he sees life a bit bigger than football in it. Whereas, and I'm not that. To me, football is life in it. So it's one of them. So I'm probably more on Pep's side. But he just loves life in that. And I think he just loves being a football manager. And I think he feels quite lucky to be at Liverpool. Whereas I think Man City feel lucky to have Pep. Because he's kind of bigger. He's bigger than them, innit? Klopp's not bigger than Liverpool. No. But Pep is probably bigger. He's bigger than Man City. Yeah, he's had Messi in that, bro. So for him, it's like it's a privilege for me to be here.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a mad one, but yeah.
I think Pep might see Man City as that you're lucky to have me sort of material. Where Klopp thinks I'm lucky to be at Liverpool. I think that's how they
100%. Because what you said about Man City's players, about well, not just Man City, but you said some clubs can afford to, you know, if they have an inkling of a player, just buy him in, and if it doesn't work out, and this person isn't a flop, but you know, examples like you'll always forget that Nathan Ake plays for Man City, innit?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they'll have centre backs down. He'll come in and he'll do a job, and he'll do a really good job.
Yeah.
But this geezer wasn't cheap, and he hardly ever plays, bro. Yeah. We could never have a player who we buy
that never plays,
never plays, and he costs that much money, and then the fan base would be like, "Nah, sell him and get someone else, and you can play right now." So it's a bit of a in between. If Man City didn't exist, I think the fan base wouldn't think as much like this. But we're all competing with them, and I'm happy to compete the way we've been competing, and just improve our club where we can. But I think some people ain't got the patience because they're so. It's funny you done the Roy Hodgson thing. I think people are so like they remember them times so bad that they're like, nah, we can't afford to not keep up with this Man City squad. But I think it'll be different when Klopp leaves, depending on what manager comes in, because then it changes everything, doesn't it? But
this is the thing. I was going to say this with Klopp. When he leaves, you might see the players coming in that people want.
I think so as well.
There might be there's going to be a different look at the way of the games played. So when Klopp leaves, we might see, you know, the players that people are listing on social media, the midfielders are saying we could get right now that come into a team make us better. Where Klopp's thinking, no, they don't. Another manager might come in and go, you know what? Yeah, that and that player will make us better. You might see it completely different when Jurgen came in. Because I saw a thing that we actually spent quite a bit of money before Jurgen came in on a lot of players that were really average as well.
Especially with inflation and that, because they would have cost way more now.
Yeah, and like Black Hammer says here as well, before I go back to Jamrock's comment, City is just another job for Pep.
Yep.
It's true. Jamrock puts Klopp has always been an idealist and he will continue to be one. He has a certain moral compass on how a club should be run, and he is a coach at heart. That is completely
that comment is literally Klopp altogether, bro. I think it's being idealistic seems in like this current time in life, being idealistic seems wrong, doesn't it? Yeah. But it's actually the way that most of us would want to live and want to do certain things. But because of this fast pace, everything's fast paced, want it now mentality about everything, that it doesn't work like that. Because even FSG, to be fair, the way they run the football club is the ideal way to run a football club. It's damn near perfect, their business model.
Yeah, it's just that we have oil clubs around that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Man City was ran different. I don't say Chelsea as much because they've been ran a certain way for like 20 plus years now. But and obviously we don't know about this new guy. He might come in and splash some cash. But it'd be if Man City was ran a little bit different, I would like to see what the fan base would be like now. I don't think there'll be this uproar about a midfielder as much now. It's just everyone knows that City can just splash money, and we've seen their chairman make that statement. Was it 2 weeks ago when he pretty much said that if we need something, we'll get it. And that was like, that was Terminator talk, that was, bro. It sounded brutal.
You can't compete with that. When you've got an owner of a club that's got unlimited money and they said, we're just going to get wherever we want to keep going, then you just can't. Because at the end of the day, I do think City owners know they're nothing without Pep at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
I think I've said this many times. That Man City squad, as good as it is, if Pep weren't the manager tomorrow, Liverpool win the Premier League because it just takes that 10-20% away. Takes that 10-20%
Yeah,
away.
Pep is massive for them.
And Pep's huge. He's huge for the club.
That's what I said about the Champions League, because they keep trying to tell us that. And the thing is with Man City fans, I actually don't care. I don't give a damn about your club. I don't care what you win. You know what I mean? What you came in to win. It's just when you're talking about a regular football chat, I know that he's been brought in to win the Champions League. And you're trying to tell me otherwise is pointless, because I watched Mancini and Pellegrini win the Prem. So it wasn't the Prem they brought you in for. Mancini and Pellegrini, between them, did they not win the Prem and the League Cup and the FA Cup? So they won every trophy. Apart from the Champions League. So why would anyone trade them in? It's the Champions League, bro. They kept falling short. You know what I mean? I'm sure they'll win it eventually. I don't think it'll be this season coming up. But yeah, I don't know. Man City fans are more like at heart, they're more like Liverpool fans than everyone realizes. But that's why they're always a bit weird about they're always talking about their nights in Grimsby and that, because that's what they're in, isn't it? They're confused with all this money. It's too much for them.
Oh yeah, exactly. Especially the real Man City fans.
Yeah.
Like Ilias puts here. So Neves, Barella, Lemire, you can go on and get a midfielder now. We don't have to wait a year to buy a midfielder. So Ilias, I don't know if you've just come in, but this is what we've been saying.
Yeah.
And I agree. Look, we all agree we probably do need a midfielder this summer. Like, none of us are disagreeing with this. But what we're saying is, if we got to look at it as a whole thing now, with not just the owners, with Jurgen Klopp as well. Jurgen Klopp, like we're saying, is he might think none of them players you've listed there are as good as what he's got now. Yeah. So Jurgen Klopp won't buy a player like that if he doesn't think they're as good as what he's got now.
Yeah.
So that's what we're saying. I don't think we can all just go, it's FSG's fault, because you look at the players they brought in recently. Kanate was probably as good as any defender we got now, apart from Virgil. Diaz was Mane's replacement. It weren't Nuno. It weren't Darwin Núñez. It was Luis Diaz. And then they brought Darwin Núñez in to bolster that attack.
I think Darwin's there to not replace, but he's the guy to take Bobby's spot, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the future there. And then Klopp might just feel like the midfield we got now, the players in that midfield might be better than the likes of Neves, Barrera and Amir. Obviously, we're not saying it's true. We're not saying that's the case of what we believe. We're saying that we think that's what Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jamie. And I think we're just making the educated guess based off the evidence what Klopp's had while he's been here. If you just take an educated guess of how he's been the whole time, then you're probably right, to be honest. And I know that everyone says that if we want a midfielder, we don't have to wait a year. I agree. Although, when I think about what's behind the scenes and stuff, I really don't know. Listen, I only keep mentioning Bellingham because he's the player that I want, but any other club, there could be players that are just like, they've spoke to the club already, and the club are saying, you're not getting him this season, there's no way. Yeah. And then everyone's like, all right, then we'll just shut up shop for this season then, because we can't get the one we want. And if we go on and sign, for example, Jude next season, then we'll probably know that Dortmund just said, listen, we're not selling him and Haaland this season, simple. Yeah, and that's kind of it, you kind of have to deal with it. Remember, they sold Sancho the season before, bro. That's their whole forward gone.
That's a lot of talent.
I'm sure someone's going to snap Reina from them soon.
Yeah, and that Reina will be the next one, yeah.
He's a baller, he is, man.
They can't afford to lose all that talent. That's why Jude's not playing this summer. So Ali says if Klopp wants a midfield target, that what he wants, we'll have to wait, like we did with VVD. Yeah. Now, this is what I'm saying, Ilias.
Yeah, James has been saying this still.
This is what I'm saying for my point. Go back to Virgil. I remember on social media at the time, people listed many centre-backs we could have bought that summer because we couldn't have gone for Virgil anymore. But Klopp was like, no, I don't think any of them improve us enough as much as Virgil van Dijk will. And now you look at it and you're like, he's correct. And then Kanate came on the scene. Look, we've got to remember in the January as well. In the January, the owners, look, we had no centre-backs. But I do believe we wanted Kanate all the time. And I think the owners are like, no, we want Kanate, but we can't get him in January because of the thing in his contract. If he's still playing Champions League football, he can't join in January. So Liverpool were like, we're not going to put an outlay on another defender when we got Joe Gomez coming back next season, Virgil coming back next season, Matip back next season. You know, we don't need 2 new centre backs.
That's why we didn't keep Kabak.
So yeah, and that's why Kabak went. So, and when you look at it now, I mean, there might have been 70% right, maybe, but I just look at them sort of things. And I think I'm agreeing, by the way, with everyone. I'm not saying we shouldn't buy a midfielder. I think we should. I think Savage is in agreement as well. We probably do need a midfielder this season. But where we're coming from is we're just looking at Jurgen Klopp. And Jurgen Klopp has got a thing of like, if he doesn't think a player is going to improve his team or is better than the players that are currently at his team in them positions, Jurgen Klopp doesn't buy them. He's different to Man City in that way with Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola will buy. Like Savage said, they got Ake for 40 million. That's a big outlay on a centre-back. He barely plays.
Yeah,
they can have him on the bench. Klopp won't do that. No, Klopp won't do that. Look how much he got Konate playing this season. Konate played a lot of games this season. Played the Champions League final, for goodness sake. I think that tells everyone what Jurgen Klopp actually thinks of Konate. Konate will be Virgil van Dijk's centre-back partner next season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he will be. Played the Champions League final.
It's got to be a hard one, isn't it? It's got to be a hard one to. He's not allowed to see it as a football fan like we do because that's not what he's paid for.
He's not a fan, he's a manager, isn't he?
And like, if I don't know what example to give, but if you got given a objective of something at some job or something like that, and you exceeded the objective, or you didn't exceed it, but you got close enough and you done well in some other parts of your job, it's going to be quite hard to know where, like, what do I need to change?
Yeah.
Because the change what everyone's asking for is not the reason why we didn't win the league. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, when I get it, everyone's allowed to, it doesn't matter. I love Milner, everyone else doesn't. It doesn't matter. I don't care about that. But like keeping Milner an extra year isn't the reason why we didn't win the Champions League or the Prem. It's not, because it was 1 point, so it's not. Yeah, I mean, not signing this attacking midfielder or whatever isn't the reason why. Because it was less about scoring goals and more about controlling certain games than anything. We were the top goal scorers up until I think like the last 3 games, and then De Bruyne decided to score like 20 flipping goals or whatever he done. But,
exactly.
Yeah, when you break down the reasons, and obviously you can pick and choose which reasons because it was so fine margins. The Real Madrid one is one-off game, isn't it? So that's just a one-off game. That's a cup final. Whereas the league, it's 38 games and it ended 1 point, them winning the league by. So trying to pick a reason why you didn't win, well, it's quite simple, isn't it? You just go for one of the games what you didn't win the game, and you just go, where did we go wrong in this? And me and you said loads of times, well, we're winning this game 2-0, we're winning that game 2-0, we're winning that game 3-0, we didn't win the game. There's your problem, isn't it? But it's not one person. Like you said it yourself, if Gini was in the squad last season, we still would have finished 1 point behind because them games, the team just crumbled in them in the matter of minutes. It was weird, especially like the Brentford and Brighton game. We just crumbled for about 10 minutes and then went back to normal.
Even Virgil did.
The Brentford game, Virgil lost. Like I told you, there's that weird goal where he was just looking up at the sky, looking for the ball, and it was behind him. And then obviously the Chelsea game, which is probably out of all of them, it's kind of crazy. That's the game that bothered me the most because when Salah scored and it was 2-0, it looked like it looked like we're going to batter these like 5-0. It looked horrible. And then we just did, you know what I mean, disintegrated, and it's one of those, it's weird.
It is about, I think that's what we need to do this season. It's like I say, you take one draw away this season, you know, you're 2-0 up against Brighton at Anfield. That game should be done.
Yeah.
You know, that game should be done. We win that game, we won the Premier League. And we ain't talking about, you know, this sort of thing we're talking about now. But I do understand you guys. I am with you when you're talking about midfielders, though. It's not about having better starting options, it's about having higher quality depth. And I agree, Black Cat.
That's true. That's true.
We all agree, my man. We all agree. What we're just coming from the point of view that Jurgen Klopp might not agree with this. This is what we're saying. Jurgen signed a new contract because he's happy with the way it's going on. Jurgen Klopp's not a silly man. You know, he loves the club. It's obvious he loves Liverpool Football Club and the people around Liverpool. Very obvious. But that hasn't blinded him into the fact to sign a new contract. If he didn't think it was working, he would leave. At the end of Borussia Dortmund, his time had come up, and he said, "I can't do this no more. I'm losing my best players every single season.
Yep.
So no matter who I buy this summer, I'm sure if they have a great season the following summer, Bayern Munich could just go take them.
There you have it,
I
man.
can't keep doing that." So he left. Now he's been at Liverpool longer than he's been anywhere else as a manager. And it must be because he likes what's going on. So I agree, Black Hammer, I agree with you. Ilias, I agree with you. I agree with you guys. We do need a midfielder in. I'm a bit upset we ain't getting a midfielder in. If we don't, I think it could be a mistake as well. I don't think it'd be a mistake in the fact that we're going to fall off a cliff. Like a lot of people think. I think that's just silly. I think we will compete. But it's just going. I'm just looking at it from the Jurgen Klopp point of view, guys. Where
that's all you can do, really, because
yeah,
we can look at it as a fan all we like, but because we don't have any control in the club, and I think you said it perfect, man. The Dortmund analogy is perfect because, like I said to you prior, if you had a girl who's like every time someone kept stealing her boyfriends off her, and then she gets a new boyfriend and he gets her flowers every now and again and takes care of her, she's all right, isn't it? And we're the new boyfriend for Klopp. We're the one who treats him right. And he's like, I don't need anything. Like, I think back to Jamrot's point before, Pep would have instantly, just by losing, if it was the Prem by 1 point or the Champions League in the final, he would have instantly went and brought someone. That doesn't mean it's going to work. I mean, clearly it hasn't worked in the Champions League because they've never won it. And they've tried that every time. Every time they've lost, they've gone and brought someone. So that thing doesn't always work. Sometimes it can and sometimes it can't. And I think that's it with Klopp. I think, remember, everyone in the season, when we started the season, was saying that our depth was really good. It's like, oh, this is great. We ain't had depth like this before.
Yeah, everyone says this is the best Liverpool squad they've ever seen.
Yeah, and since then, we've only lost, Origi.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Who never played.
We ain't, like Origi and Mane, really. And if you take that away, Origi didn't play anyway. So the depth is Mane.
Yeah, and we've replaced that already.
I was about to say, yeah, we've replaced it. His replacement was there while he was there.
The depth is still the same. It's just, one thing that has been annoying me lately, I've got to say, I think everyone's forgot Luis Diaz was signed in January. I swear people think he's a new signing.
He's a new signing, yeah.
Yeah, he signed in January. He only played 3.5 months of Premier League football. This is his first full season. So I'm happy with our forwards and defence. I think everyone's happy with most of the squad. It's just the midfield area, and I do agree. You look at our goalkeepers, Alisson and Kelleher are better than Man City's two. I don't care what anyone says. Kelleher's better than Stefan.
Oh, he's trash, bro. Paul Walker's got better handling than him, man.
He's terrible. And Alisson is better than Edison. I don't care what anyone says. He's a far better all-round goalkeeper. Alisson is a better goalkeeper. The back line, we've now got Ramsey through the door. So we've got a backup for Trent that everyone's been moaning about. So that's done. We've got two great left backs. The centre-back area, we've got Van Dijk, Gomez, Matip, Konate. That's arguably the best four in the Premier League.
Yeah.
You know, that's a Man City. That's arguably the best four choices of centre-backs in the Premier League. Then up front, you've got Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Mo Salah, Jota, Bobby, and Carvalho. That's six fantastic attackers, and we only play a 3.
Yeah.
So that's good depth. Then the midfield obviously is where it falls apart a little bit. And I do agree, guys. Look, I don't think the Ox is going anywhere now. I think the Ox is staying. There's no way the Ox, if we're not buying a midfielder, there can't be any way we're selling him.
No, you can't. Just for depth purposes, you can't let him go then.
Especially with the 5 sub rule. You need people on the bench.
Is Taki definitely going, or is that just a rumour? Because I ain't heard anything on that.
So Taki's getting interest, but that interest hasn't come in
you got to keep him, man.
That interest hasn't come in as a formal bid anywhere yet so far.
Unless he wants to leave for game time, I'd keep him.
I'd keep Taki as well, because Taki can play midfield as well.
Yeah.
He can play in that midfield area. So when I look at our team, this is, in my opinion, this would be the team that plays for them 12:30 on Saturday, because there's no summer tournament this year. No one needs extra time off and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think this would be the team. I think Alisson would be in goal, Trent on the right. I think Konate would partner Van Dijk. And I think Robbo will be on the left. I think we'll have a midfield 3. If everyone's fit and available, it'll be Hendo, Fabinho and Thiago. Salah on the right, Diaz on the left, and Darwin Núñez through the middle. Then on the bench, you'll have Bobby, Jota, Carvalho, Milner, Keita, Matip, Gomez, Tsimikas. When you say it out loud like that,
We got ballers, man.
doesn't sound like the end of the world, does it?
I love our team. I do. I don't.
When you say it out loud like that, and there's still plenty of players there I haven't put in. Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones. You know, when you say it out loud like that, Taki Minamino if he stays. When you say it out loud like that, the squad's not too bad. The squad's good. I can understand people's opinions where they're saying there's definitely quantity, and they're happy with the quantity. It's the quality, which I get. That we need to upgrade eventually. We still do need to upgrade eventually. There's no doubt about that. But as we keep saying, if Jurgen Klopp doesn't think it needs upgrading, he's not going to upgrade it. Simple as that. It's like a computer, right? If you've got a computer that's still doing everything you need to do at this moment in time, but you've got spare cash, but other things need sorting, you don't buy the new computer.
Yeah.
If it's still doing what you need it to do,
100%.
it's still working out, but you've got the cash to buy a new one, but you look around the house and there's other things you need, but you need to keep the wife happy as well.
To be fair, Jay, that might be the perfect analogy because I did that with my Xbox before.
Yeah.
I could have got the new one, but then I knew there was another new one coming out in about 6 months.
Yeah.
So I just kept this one and then got the.
You wait. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I think that's how Klopp sees it.
I might be wrong here. Well, no one's going to be able to tell me if I'm wrong or not because it's only opinion. But if it's only at the moment that it looks like Mane is the one who's leaving, but Núñez is definitely a Liverpool player now. I might be the only person with the opinion that thinks our team is already better than it was last season, and not because before anyone kicks me in the face. It's not because I think Mane Núñez is a better player than Mane, but he's a better number 9 than Mane, and Diaz is a better left winger than Mane, the current one. I repeat, the current one, not old Mane. But no one wanted Mane on the left last season because Diaz was better there. And every game Diaz started on the bench, everyone wanted him to start. And Mane shocked everyone as a number 9 last season, whereas Núñez, he plays as a number 9, it's his spot. So just off that, so far, I think our team is better. It might be a little bit better. It might not be drastic, but I think it's better because we've got a clinical striker now.
Yeah, we've got a clinical striker. And if Diaz goes onto the season we think he might have, then, he's replacing Mane goals. And then you've got Diaz up front.
Yeah, that's my opinion behind it. Now that changes obviously if Salah leaves or if we lose Taki as well as Origi. That's completely different because then we're losing quality in the squad and depth. I don't really count Taki as this bit part player. He got, He was top goal scorer in both cups, so he's not a bit part player. He just plays in the cups, just like Manu with Park Ji-sung and O'Shea and all these people. Like they seem like bit parts, but they're used. So I think FA Cup might be the one though, because obviously I told you that I don't really agree in this throwing cups away because it makes us look a bit shit. Like, it's a bit embarrassing to be like.
That's what we will do. Like.
Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing to say that we've got all these best players in every position, but we're not going to go. But I think the FA Cup will be the one where less of the main squad is used. The reason why I say the FA Cup, okay, both cups, but the reason why I don't think people should be throwing away the League Cup is because it's won so early in the season. Like, you can't really afford to just sack it off and not win it and then finish the season and not win anything. Then you'd rather win the League Cup than win nothing. Yeah. So when was it? February, the final? Is that the beginning of February or something like that?
Yeah.
It's so early and it sets momentum for the rest of the season. Remember, no one started talking about the quad until we won the League Cup and then beat Man City in the FA Cup. Before that, there was zero quad talk. So for all the other fan bases and for the Liverpool fans who were like, "Oh, stop talking about the quad," we didn't. We didn't speak about it until we were thinking about, you know what, we're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League and we've got Villarreal. If we had got Bayern Munich, no one would have even mentioned the quad until we had won. So,
yeah,
if you want, man.
I mean, I'll just get to Rams for 1 minute, Ram. I just want to get to Danny up the Reds comments. Danny, you might have joined in late, my man. So let me just go through it. So, Jamie, you sound Jamie, we're up against Man City. You sound happy coming second. I'm not happy. look, I've been a fan of Liverpool Football Club for 30 years. I want to see the Premier League trophy every year at Liverpool Football Club. I'm not happy that we're not buying a midfielder. Don't get me wrong. What I'm trying to say, I'm looking at the eyes through Jurgen Klopp, not the eyes of Jamie Phillips right now. So I'm looking at the eyes through Jurgen Klopp. And what I'm trying to say is that I think all the players, people listen at, Danny, you might list out some midfielders yourself who you fancy we should get. Some people have already, Ilias has put like Brera and people like that.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. Brera will be great for Liverpool Football Club. Get him now.
All of them.
Right? He's a tremendous player. But what we're saying is Jurgen Klopp doesn't see it that way. Jurgen Klopp sees players in his team that he thinks are just as good as certain players out there. So he doesn't see a point in buying them. He doesn't see a point in bringing them in. That's what I'm saying. I'm not agreeing. I want Liverpool to win everything. So I'd like Liverpool to go out and get like Brera right now and things like that. Jurgen doesn't think Hendo can be upgraded on Stevie Wonder managing us. I do think he thinks Hendo can be upgraded on. But it depends on what kind of player is it that Hendo will be upgraded on. Because Jurgen don't just look at what a player gives you on the pitch. He looks at everything. You're not going to find a better leader and captain that comes in and replaces Hendo. Simple as that. No. And Jurgen believes in that highly. He loves that about Hendo. Also, Jurgen looks at personality more than any manager I know. You know, he won't buy a player if they've got a dodgy attitude. Yeah. You know, he just won't have it. He won't have it in the club. Now, Barella, he might, obviously Barella's better than Hendo. None of us are stupid to say any differently. But Jurgen might think, you know what? What Hendo also gives me, Barella can't. So at this moment in time, I'll keep Hendo. That's how he might think. I'm not thinking it.
I don't think Hendo. I know you said for the first game. I think Hendo starts the Fulham game, but I reckon by the time we get halfway through the season, Hendo's not going to be a starter for Liverpool. And I don't think it's because he would have fell off. I just think that because I think we'll keep the same formation, but I think we'll change the tactics. Yeah. I think the tactics will change a little bit. At the moment, I think even Jamrock said about we don't have a ball carrying midfielder, but when me and you spoke the other day, we kind of said that we do. It's just that they're not allowed to carry the ball.
No, exactly.
It's like it seems that way because I'm not saying Jones is the best player in the world before anyone comes at me, but clearly he's a baller. Harvey's a baller, and their game is to kind of carry the ball. Carvalho carries the ball for Fulham. Curtis, before when his first season and when he was in the youth squad, that's what he done. That's how he plays. Carries the ball like Maddison, and shoots from outside the box or lays it off. But we tried to do this like conservative thing. That's why Gini never carried the ball either, even though for the Netherlands he's a ball carrier in midfield.
Yeah, agree. So, big up Ram just sent me this on my DM on Twitter.
Nice.
So this is Liverpool's probably strongest 11, maybe.
That's literally what I just said as well.
Probably our strongest 11, and the squad in all. The whole squad here. So as you see, Trent, Matip, Virgil, Robbo. Then you got Ramsey as his backup to Trent. So you got two right backs. You got Kanate and Matip. You can even put Fabinho back there as well, like he's got there. Van Dijk, Gomez, and Van der Berg, and Robertson and Simicast. And then Alisson's got Kelleher and Nadran. So we've got depth in them areas. The forward lines, they've got Darwin, Núñez, Jota, Firmino, Diaz, Carvalho, Jota. Salah's the only one who hasn't got really anyone on that right-hand side. Thiago, Keita and Jones. Fabinho, Henderson will probably be his number 6 replacement. Then Elliott, Milner and Ox. Yeah. So there's players there. I mean, that first 11 is ridiculous. That's still a tremendous first 11. That's as good as the first 11 you're going to find anywhere. The depth is good. It's just a little bit of quality needed. And
this is dope still, Rams, but don't ever put Van der Berg's name underneath Van Dijk again. You have some respect for Virgil, bro.
Yeah. Appreciate you go, Curtis. Slander is so mad. Yeah, Demo's a Curtis man. Yeah, I like Curtis Jones. I don't get the thing with Curtis. You know what is with Curtis? Curtis Jones actually might look good in a Man City team.
I said this
because
bro.
Because he'll be able to play more his way than he is in the Liverpool team.
But you know that thing when he keeps the ball, what everyone keeps mentioning. He never used to do that.
No.
He looks uncomfortable, like he doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
because I've seen him hold the ball, look at people, look at them like you're not in a proper position, and he's like, all right, then I'll just keep it until you get into a whereas somebody else would just 5-yard pass, move into position. Because Jamrock made a point there that none of our ball carrying midfielders are 17, 18 Ox, but that's because they haven't I've seen Kurt shoot from outside the box. He can shoot. Ox probably can still do that job as well. So.
Yeah.
You are right. I do agree with everyone, though. I do agree with everyone. Yeah, I mean, I get that everyone just wants to change now, but just based on how Klopp seems to be, I'm kind of just going off the team we've got already because the Nunes signing was already a big shock. I don't see any more massive shocks coming.
No, Danny Utterheads, it's nothing personal, Jamie just sounds it, but fair enough. Yeah, mate, I understand. Look, I can understand everyone's upsetness. I really can. You look at the midfield, there is quantity there. But, there is quality there. There's no doubt about it. Thiago and Fabinho are world-class footballers. But we know, especially with Thiago, he gets injury concerns. I mean, if next season, Thiago and Fabinho don't get an injury at all, or it's an injury that only keeps them out a couple of games, we're laughing. You know what I mean? Them two.
I think if we was assured that Thiago wouldn't be injured,
yeah, we're laughing. They're
fine.
tremendous. They're tremendous. Yeah. They're world-class midfielders. Henderson. People might not like it. People might not like Hendo. But you can tell we're not always as good when he don't play. And I think that is a sign of what he does off. We don't look at footballers what they do off the ball enough. I always say that. We never look at what footballers do off the ball enough. Yeah. And what he does off the ball is probably better than what he actually does on the ball. And that's why he plays. Not saying don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he should start every week. He's like coming up 32 now. So I think his game time will be a lot different going into next season. Even Jurgen knows that. Yeah. But I like Hendo in the 6. I've got to say, if Fabinho can't play, I'm happy with Hendo in that 6th position. I really am.
Yeah.
I think that's his position going forward now as he gets older as well.
I think so. It benefits him more as well.
Yeah, he doesn't have to run so much, and he's got more legs and speed than Fabinho has as well, and he's 32. So, Thiago is obviously a world-class footballer. Naby Keita is a good footballer. He's just got to show it. This is it now with Naby. This season's it. Naby's got to start showing it. If he can show it, look, Naby is a ball carrier. Curtis Jones is a ball carrier.
They both have the same problem.
I don't think they're allowed to do it though in the system. That's the problem.
Yeah, and they both lack confidence.
Yeah, they're confidence footballers, very much so. Like
Jones's confidence is probably based on he's probably seen the fan base. He's only a young kid. He's definitely on social media. He probably saw how everyone's been. Honestly, and with Naby, I don't know. He looks like he's because he's not been injured, but now he looks worried to get injured. So now he doesn't. You know what I mean?
For me, that's the same with Ox as well. Ox plays.
Ox is definitely. I don't blame Ox though. To be fair,
within himself because of the injuries.
Yeah,
you can tell. But I will say with Ox, when Salah was away at AFCON, Ox stepped up.
For the 3 games and they played good, man.
Yeah, he played on the right hand side. I've always said this. I don't think Ox should play midfield. I think he should be Salah's replacement this season on that right hand side. I don't think Ox has got the defensive capabilities to play in a Liverpool midfield no more. I just don't think he ball watches too much in midfield. But he's very dangerous around the box. Ox, to this day, still got a good shot on him.
Yeah.
Deliver a goal, he can still go past the player. I think the Ox is so much better in and around the box than he is on the halfway line. The way we like to play in that midfield.
Salah's pretty predictable on the right hand side, isn't he?
Yeah,
so Ox is the most predictable.
If you're going to play Ox next season, I'd actually have him on the right hand side of the attack and not in midfield. I've said that a while now.
He needs a good talking to Ox, man. He needs one of them talks where it's like, listen, you're going to be here for one more season. I'm going to give you the chances when I can. It's up to you to prove yourself. And just do what you do. I think he might have to shake off some of the noise himself, though, because he looks like he doubts himself. He doesn't even look happy when he gets the run of game. If you look at his face, he does not look happy to be playing football. So, yeah, I'm always going to back anyone who's in our squad. When the season starts and everyone's our player, I'm going to just get behind them and want them to do what I know they can do. But, yeah, for people like Ox and stuff, they've been here a while now. Naby's been here a while. And I don't know. He didn't do enough last season to convince me that he's going to do anything great, but he can play football. But yeah, I think he does look scared to. It's weird because you watch him in AFCON, he throws in tackles like it's nothing, but in the Prem and that, he looks very scared to not get hurt, to get hurt. So I don't know.
No, I agree. He does play within himself.
That's why Pogba got sent off, bro.
Yeah,
because he kind of waited. Like, if Naby was carried on moving, then he probably wouldn't even end. Because the tackle, when I watched it back, the tackle wasn't as bad as everyone made out. It wasn't that bad, bro.
no.
But yeah, it kind of just stood there.
Bowen could be a tiebreaker, game changer.
Me and Jamie have been screaming for Bowen for a minute, innit?
I love Bowen. My problem is Klopp doesn't seem to trust the likes of Curtis or Ox. He can say all he wants, but when you pick Milner at 48 ahead of them, it says everything. Good point. It's a good point. Look, with Curtis Jones especially, I think Harvey Elliott he does trust. So out of all of them, out of all the young guys, Harvey Elliott he trusts completely.
Well, yeah, definitely, because he was starting last season.
He started last season, came back from injury, and went straight in the squad again.
Yeah.
And obviously, he weren't ready. Plus his social media antics, I think he got told off.
Yeah.
So, he trusts Harvey Elliott on the pitch. I think Harvey will play a lot. I think people might be surprised. Harvey Elliott even might start the season. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's why I said to you about the Fulham game. I said that I think Hendo might
surprised.
start, but I reckon by the time we get halfway through the season, Elliott will be the one starting ahead of him because he was starting ahead of Naby. To be fair to Henderson, he had a bit of an injury last season, but I think Klopp was going to start Elliott anyway.
I think
and then we'll probably start seeing Hendo more in Champions League matches and that.
Do you know the best I saw Curtis Jones play? It's weird. It was against Southampton, second last game of the season.
Yeah, someone else said that in the group just now.
Harvey and Curtis Jones were just playing give and goes all over the pitch.
Because it's both on the pitch at the same time.
They were just playing give and goes. Klopp sort of let them play. They didn't have to play this defensive kind of game. They were
telling you, man, it's so hard. I played youth football and that, man, academy and that. When you play a certain way and then you get put in a different team, and then you're asked to do something else, it's like asking, not in comparison with playing style, but if you ask Hazard to keep the ball and don't run with it, when you get it, don't run with it, just keep it going, recycling. You'd be like, what I'm Hazard, bro? Like, I don't do that stuff. It's too weird. That's why you're right. If he was in Man City squad, that's how they play, innit? They just hold the ball and keep. So,
yeah, Curtis would be playing 1-2s everywhere around the box. He'd love it. I do think Klopp. You can tell with Cater as well. When Genie went last season, you can sort of see Klopp try to turn Cater into Genie.
Yeah, that's true. That's a big problem.
You can see what he was trying to do because Cater stopped running like driving with the ball. He started like playing retention-based football, and that's not Cater's game. He can't play retention game. Yeah. He can't get the ball and just give it off, get it off. I will say Cater is our best presser in midfield with Thiago. I think him and Thiago are our two best pressers in midfield.
Yeah, he's not good coming off the bench either, Cater.
He's not an impact player. He's not an impact player. No. So if you've got Naby on your team, you probably should start games.
Yeah. There is one thing I do get why. There is a thing, I think it was Dan who said it before, or I can't remember who, but there is a thing like when we're going to make a sub, you just know it's coming, the commentators say it, but then when it goes over, it's Milner and it's not an attacking sub. I do get that there's a bit of less excitement because he's been brought on for a certain job though. Yeah, but one thing I will say is every time he gets brought on to do that job, he does it.
He does do it.
He does do it. It's not the fun job, that's why. No, but he does it.
Milner sits there in a whole game for 70 minutes and studies the game and goes, right, when I come on, I'm taking him out. Simple as that.
See how impressive he was in that Newcastle game?
Yeah, he was great in that.
He's the best player.
Yeah. Look, Milner, for me, I've said this all the time. I think James Milner is technically a better footballer than Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, he probably is, to be fair.
I've said that for a while now. I think James Milner is probably a better footballer than Jordan Henderson. And at 37, when you're still going the way he is, look, I think I'm happy with Milner staying this year again, just to help out the young lads. Curtis is coming through, Harvey's coming through. But guys, everyone moaning about why we kept James Milner and why he's not letting go. That was all down to Jurgen. That weren't down to the owners. Jurgen was very adamant that James Milner needed to stay at Liverpool this season. Said it in how many press conferences? I want him to stay. He needs a 1-year deal. I want him to sign another deal. I want him. He's very important to me in this club. I don't want James Milner leaving. So when you hear things like that, and then you talk about the midfielder positions we got right now, and who's available and the players we list out. This is why we're saying, from Jurgen Klopp's eyes, he doesn't think them players we're all talking about are as good as the players he regularly has.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense. That's why I'm saying don't just throw everything at one person's door. That's all I.
Yeah, it's kind of what you said about the Origi thing, and I have actually a different take on the Origi thing because I don't think him or Klopp are wrong in the way. Like, obviously, Origi wanted more game time. Klopp didn't hardly give him any more game time. But when Klopp speaks about him, he speaks about him so highly. That's because he does love Origi. But even Liverpool fans have to admit, and this is my guy, Origi, before anyone says anything. But the clutch moments, they came in, apart from Barcelona when he started, and we played a certain way because we just needed a goal.
Yeah.
His style of being a number 9 doesn't fit how Liverpool play football.
No.
It doesn't fit because his pressing's kind of slow. It's kind of like no, because you remember that was Sturridge's problem.
Yeah. Oh, Sturridge. Well.
Every time Klopp played him, Klopp loved Sturridge as a player, but every time he played him, when you watch the rest of the team press, is someone going to tell me that Sturridge can press anywhere close to Bobby? He couldn't.
Jurgen Klopp likes a number 9 that's active from 1 minute to 9.
Exactly. And the original number 9s wasn't like that. You weren't seeing Shearer pressing, man.
No.
Because they're there to get goals. But in a Klopp system, it's like, my team isn't normally good enough for you to just do one job. So I have to get you to do loads. That's why we never signed a number 9 before. Now, our team kind of is good enough for a number 9 just to do one job because the wingers are so good in Salah and Diaz that Nunes, you know what? And he can press as well. He can press.
Nunes is a pressing machine.
But it's like, listen, if you're not going to press, we kind of can just throw you in the box.
Yeah.
And get a goal. Whereas Origi is like, we can throw you in the box to get a goal, but like you're not going to offer anything else when the game's on.
Yeah.
Everyone likes to throw because he's tall. Everyone goes, he holds up the play, and that he doesn't do it that often. And then remember, last season was it against Southampton when he had hit the crossbar with the 1-on-1?
Oh yeah.
And I know everyone overreacted because our season was so bad. But they're the little things. It's like you didn't do anything all game. So the one job I gave you to do, you couldn't score, and it ends up being a bit more over the top. Whereas for me, it's just a style in play. So I don't think there's anything wrong with either of them. Tack is a different one because he presses his ass off. He does. He's actually got better for Liverpool. He used to press aimlessly. Tacky.
Yeah.
He just used to run around in circles and go after anyone. But now he's actually improved. So I hope we keep him, man.
But this is why we've got Darwin Núñez, as everyone's saying here. Darwin Núñez loves pressing.
See, this is he
that's
does.
why Jurgen wanted him. He didn't want any forward. Jurgen doesn't want a forward like Origi, who is very quiet for 80 minutes, but then gets 2 goals.
Yeah.
That's not what Klopp wants. He wants a striker like Núñez is coming in, who's a pressing machine. Then South American attackers they're just different.
If Origi played for Man U, he'd be perfect.
Yeah, that's all.
Because Ronaldo does nothing all game, and look how many goals he scored.
Yeah, and Origi doing that sort of thing.
It doesn't always mean that someone's bad or wrong. It's styles make fights on it, and in football, your styles makes different teams, and that's why people have had certain strikers at their squad or wingers or whoever who are terrible, and then they go to a different team and they're amazing, or they're a winger in one team and they go like Henry was playing in a certain position for Monaco, and then when he came to Juve, and then when he came to Arsenal, he was like drifting to the left a bit with a striker on it, and then he started banging in all the goals. So it's kind of one of them ones. That's why Pep didn't like it either. Aguero's legs slowed down, so he couldn't press as much, and then he's like, all right, then I'll play Jesus then. And he did.
Yeah, exactly. Tony says, rate this winner out of 10. Núñez, Ramsey, Calvert. So are the right transfer windows.
It's so early in the transfer window, but
yeah, well, at the moment, Núñez is someone we desperately needed. We needed a clinical finisher. I look back on Liverpool's this season. Right, a lot of people. Right, this is myth that we struggle against low blocks, and
we know
I
this.
think it's a bit of a myth because we score against everybody. And I went back and looked at this season, guys. Guys, go back and look at this season. Look how many chances we wasted in front of goal.
Yeah, that's what the problem was.
Go and look at the chances we wasted in front of goal. Mane, Salah, even Diaz himself when he came in from January. We got in behind every low block. We got actually in behind every low block.
Facts.
But we missed so many chances.
That's why that's why I keep saying that. I feel like if I had to pick a game what lost us the league, it was a Leicester game because they had a low block
And that was
all
the only game
game.
we score against.
They had Ndidi and Amate at the back. They did nothing. They had no shots.
And Lookman.
Salah missed a penalty. Then he missed a rebound. Mane missed a sitter. And then they brought on Lookman with 20 minutes to go. They scored 1 goal and then won the game.
Exactly. And we had 3 massive opportunities to make that 3-0.
I think we had 11 shots on target in that game because remember, Schmeichel played pretty good as well.
And that just shows the finishing. So it's not always we have a problem. So when you look at games like we drew 2-2 with this team, 3-3 with that team, 1-1 with that team, they played low blocks, and you're like, yeah, but actually watch the game again. How many chances we just missed? That's why he's gone for Darwin Núñez this season.
I think we create more chances than anyone in the league, isn't it?
Yeah, we just failed in front of goal. This is what I'm saying with Mo. This is why I keep saying Mo's not a 400 to 500 grand for week footballer. His overall game. Mo gets a lot of chances and bags goals, but he's not clinical. He's not clinical. Mane weren't clinical.
You know where the low block thing comes from, Jamie? The not last season, the season before, COVID season. That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Because all the games that we lost at Anfield, was it 6? I think off the top of my head, we lost to Brighton in it, we lost to Southampton, we lost to Burnley. We lost to Everton. Everton won. They didn't play as low block as such. They were just cheating scumbags. But I think Southampton had Danny Ings last season. Well, the season before he went to Villa.
Yeah.
And he scored against us in like the first minute and off a free kick. We ran round the back and then scored, and it was 1-0.
Yeah.
Because that's the one when their manager was crying because they won.
That's right. Yeah.
Low block all game. Burnley, Ben Mee, low block all game, and then Barnsley got a penalty in the last minute. Bro, that's where the low block thing comes from. Last season, apart from Tottenham, I don't remember one we struggled to break down because the goal we scored against Tottenham was a Diaz goal from outside the box.
Yeah.
Apart from that, and obviously someone said the Chelsea game as well. You know, the one when we drew, we got a penalty and Reece James got sent off. They were better than us in that game. But apart from that,
yeah, I mean it's this low block thing that I know everyone keeps saying as well. We drew against all the top 4 teams this season, which is true. We did. We drew against Tottenham, Chelsea, and City.
Did Man City only beat Chelsea though?
Man City only beat Chelsea. Exactly. They lost both games to Tottenham and drew both games to us and beat both Chelsea games. So it's not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean, guys? We smashed Man United 9-0 in aggregate. We lost one and we lost one and won one against West Ham, top 7. But you know, we beat Arsenal as we always do. So really, it's just the only difference was City won them Chelsea games, but then City also didn't score against Crystal Palace or Southampton this season.
Yeah, it's quite rare as well that we don't beat a team in the top because that's normally our thing, isn't it? We normally beat at least at home anyway.
It's just, I think it's a bit of a myth. If you go to Jurgen Klopp right now and go, you struggle against low block teams, he'll probably slap you. I really do, because he won't like. You look at you don't score 147 goals and have a problem against low block teams. Yeah. We create chances all the time. The problem is when you see the stat chances created is so low, it's because the strikers haven't finished it. The strikers finish it, the creating stats higher.
Best stat to look at is Trent's stats, and you'll find out how bad our finishing was, even though we scored so many goals. Because he should have had like 27 assists, man. Yeah,
it's mad. I've seen some that's what I say. I went back and looked at the whole season last night. I just got the video out and just let's have a look at it. So I literally went back and watched. The amount of chances we create in games is unreal. We actually score the harder goals.
Way harder goals.
It's madness. The easy set-up goals we fluff our lines with all the time. We're all 4 and 1-on-1s. Jota with 1-on-1s when he just puts his head down and smacks it.
I told you there's only one player in the Premier who can do that. It's Vardy. Yeah. Everyone else, it doesn't work.
Jota, like we're playing against low block teams, and because the way we play, we're high pressing. We always break them down because their legs start to tire. We get in behind. There was a few games, I can't remember what games it was now, but Jota got in behind on 1-on-1s. He put his head down, just smacked it at the goalkeeper. the Leicester one when they won 1-0, for example. It was 1-on-1 with Schmeichel, and just instead of just putting it to the side of him, nice little finish. That's what Darwin Núñez's difference is going to be next season.
Oh, you want to check that, Jamie? It looks like everyone's saying that Mane's done.
Yeah, I just got the DM from Ali.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Big up Sadio, man.
Fabrizio Romano has just said it as well, and Ali sent me it. Done deal, total agreement.
What's the price?
Sadio Mane is set to join Bayern on a permanent deal from Liverpool. Agreement is set to be reached after a direct meeting between the clubs today. Personal terms 100% agreed. Yeah, there's no price. No money.
Dodginess, man.
On the money at the moment.
What, they're giving us Kimmich? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Kimmich flying over. Goretzka. Ooh, what's going on, man?
We're going to get Kimmich part of the deal.
Send us one of them. Nabry, send us one, man.
Well, Liverpool wanted
42 mil.
Liverpool wanted 42 mil, didn't they? So
that's what Tony said, 42 mil.
Yeah, some people were saying they are going to pay the 42 mil. Yeah.
If it's 42 mil, that's a good deal right there, man.
Last year.
Big up to Julian and that, because that's
30 years old.
That's
last
a good
year
deal.
Contract. It's a good
Especially
deal.
with somebody who wants to go there as well.
And that almost pays off Darwin Núñez's transfer straight away as well. So,
well, I'll say this, innit? Well done, Mane, and that. But you're no longer a Liverpool player, so I'm not talking about you anymore. He's had too much love over the last weeks and that, man. Like, you get as much as I love him and that, I hate when people want to leave Liverpool. So if you want to leave and that, then I ain't talking about you no more.
No, I feel that.
Thanks for the memories and that. I'll watch your goals. You know what I mean, in the Liverpool top. But after that, bro, there's always Liverpool fans talking about they're going to go and watch Mane for Bayern Munich and that. Why? What? You can stay. I'll watch him if he's in the Champions League. Because
this is what I'm saying about fans now. They're fans of players, not teams.
Yeah, like LeBron and that. Oh, I'm going to watch him at the Lakers because he left the Heat. Nah, Mane's no longer a Liverpool player, bro. I love the guy and that. But nah, it's not the same, bro.
Did people go and watch it? Did people go and watch Juventus when Ian Rush went for a year?
People can start running around with like a Origi AC Milan tops and that.
They are. You go see it. In Germany, they're saying 40 million euros, including add-ons. So it's like, what, 35 million quid? And
35 mil.
Add-ons probably go up to 42 mil. Yeah, so.
And then how much did Núñez cost?
64. So,
64.
yeah, so it's only 20 off, ain't it?
Take 20 off, and then Ramsey.
Most of the outlays paid on that.
Yeah. I checked on Ramsey yesterday, to be fair, after you told me, because I was quite honest. I said I didn't know anything about him. Why would I? Who's watching Aberdeen, bro? You mad? Yeah. But he seems a bit lively.
He's got the energy of Robbo. That's what
he's got. The energy of Robbo and the passing and the crossing of Trent, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he seems so lively, bro. Like, he looks good, man.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
He looks good. Don't get me wrong, the jury's still out because that's Scottish League, isn't it? But
and he's 18, so
yeah. So I'll give him a chance to grow in that. But he looks decent, to be fair.
But he's coming straight into the deal is that he comes straight into the first team squad.
The interesting part was him tracking back and tackling. He's so good at that.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. They're saying part of this deal is that he comes straight into the squad. Like, he's not going into as under 23s or anything like that. He's coming straight into the first team squad, and he's 18. So that means
Ben Davies going to be part of our squad or what?
I think he's gone. I think the hologram.
I like Casper on that, bro. We never saw. Yeah.
Rivals are loving this. They now say they can get his shirt. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, Núñez, 85 million euro pounds. No, Danny, 64 million pounds, my friend, because the add-ons don't count yet. Add-ons only count if he completes his job. If he completes his job, then the add-ons count. So at the moment,
if he completes his job, then I don't give a damn about the price.
Yeah, exactly. Then 85 is, because have you seen what the add-ons are? The Champions League, league titles, stuff like that. So if he has actually done them.
Oh, is that what the add-ons are?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was some dodgy add-ons because the way
No, the Champions League win, a Premier League win.
Oh, okay.
That's what the add-ons are.
Listen, the way the rivals were talking, they were speaking like the add-ons were like if Núñez scores 10 goals and that, because I was
no. I had it somewhere. Let me go and have a look.
Please check it, because if not, I'm here for them add-ons. I don't give a damn if we win the Premier or the Champions League. You can have 30 more million.
Okay. There you go.
The player gets the title of top scorer in the league, 6 million. Liverpool win the Premier League title twice, 5 million. To participate in more than 120 bro, this is light work. This is who done this deal, Julian?
Yeah.
That's my guy, I might get Julian on the back of my top, This guy is perfect. If he does all of this,
You're laughing.
rival fans, you're gonna have to shut your mouth, bro. You know what I mean? These are Van Dijk add-ons here, bro. I don't care about that, bro.
So if he gets all them add-ons, then
That's perfect.
85 million is a bargain.
I love it. I love it, man. Thanks for letting me know. I did not. Honestly, the way people were speaking, they were saying it like the add-ons were a done deal.
No, he's got to score more than 80 goals in a
These are the add-ons that Bayern Munich should have gave us for Mane instead of the Ballon d'Or 3 times.
Yeah. I think we threw that out of the thing, didn't we? Player gets a title of top goal scorer in the league, 6 million. So if he gets top goal scorer in the Premier League, Liverpool are obviously doing really well. Liverpool win the Premier League title twice, 5 million. Got to win the Premier League title twice for another 5 million.
Let's be honest. Apart from the top goal scorer one, they ain't gonna get any money for at least 2 seasons free because he ain't gonna score 80 goals. He ain't gonna score 80 goals. Exactly. And the Premier League title obviously has to take 2 seasons anyway. 120 matches as well. It's going to take about 3 seasons.
It's just great add-ons, and that means Liverpool will be a success, especially when we have to give it all. That means we've won 2 Premier League titles.
That's how business is done, man. That's a proper deal. That's how record labels do it with rappers and stuff.
Yeah. They sell so many things, they get this and that.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, man. Shout out to Benfica, man. That's a good deal, man.
It's a great deal. It's like, basically we equip half the Nunes money back up Mane. So, yeah, that's good business. It's good business. People might not like it. People might not like Liverpool's structure of transfers, but at the end of the day,
I understand why rival fans are doing it though. They wanted to lump us in with like the big spenders in it who constantly spend. It's all right. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You either win the Prem or you don't. You win the Champions League or you don't. Rival fans are a mess.
Yeah, that was Nunes, Jody, not the Mane. I think that was Mane. Yeah, I thought you meant Mane. Yeah, that was Darwin Nunes' add-ons. Yeah,
and we got Fingers money as well. This season should be Grujic and Wilson.
Yeah, that's true. But we've let go. We've let go of 7 or 8 players as well. So the money from matches comes down as well. A midfielder is crucial for us to win the Premier and Champions League. How reliable do you guys believe Paul Joyce is as you stand? We look at midfield replacements next summer. I think, like we said this earlier, Gangan, we said basically what Paul Joyce is saying. If a midfielder at this moment in time, Liverpool don't believe, and Jurgen Klopp, when we say Liverpool, we've got to put everyone into, we said this, we've got to put everyone into context. So that includes Jurgen Klopp and the owners. They don't believe at this moment in time there's a player there that will benefit Liverpool going forward, buying them right now. That is why they're after. Tchouaméni was a real thing, by the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Very desperate to buy him. But as soon as Real Madrid came in with 80 million euros and 20 million added on, £100 million for a midfielder is a lot of money.
Yes.
And Liverpool didn't feel that deal was worth 100 million euros, so they pulled out of it. But they were very into Tchouaméni, and we was always buying Darwin Nunes. So we are interested in a midfielder. So if a midfielder like that comes up again this summer, if Borussia Dortmund have a change of mind and say, right, you can have Bellingham this summer, I think Liverpool will do it.
That's Jay. I honestly believe that Jude comes, but I just think Dortmund ain't going to allow him to leave this season. And also knowing what kind of player he is, he's kind of one of them ones that is happy to progress himself, as you know what I mean, because he'll probably come in and take Henderson's spot anyway. I honestly, I know I talk highly of him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he comes to Liverpool. I wouldn't be surprised within. I mean, actually, we've got Van Dijk, but he's a captain type player, man. Yeah. He's a Gerrard type man. He's a baller.
Totally. And it's like Tony says, our credit Julian Ward, but Mark Edwards has been good for us. Yeah, Mark Edwards has been. Look, Mark Edwards selling off players was just as good as he's buying the players.
Yeah, Solanke and that Brewster.
Yeah, I mean, he's selling players was amazing. But I think Julian Ward, what we're seeing here behind the scenes is that everyone was worried when Michael left, but it looks like Julian Ward knows what he's doing. And it's not so much problem.
Edwards going to Newcastle? Is that where he's going?
I think he went to Nice.
Oh, okay.
Newcastle got, I think, Brighton's. people at Brighton have been doing all the deals over there. I think they got them. I think he went to Nice. Because Real Madrid wanted him at one time, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's all you bloody.
Oh yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you need. Someone who's quality going to Madrid and getting proper deals. Madrid don't know what to do. What do you mean we have add-ons? What are you on about? It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are we buying this player? Why are we only paying £100 million player? We're only paying 10 million up front. What are you on about? You don't do that. Like, where have you been all our lives? We could have done this for years. Ward held Benfica at gunpoint with add-ons.
Yeah, trust me.
With Ox, Taki, Nat, Ben, Davis, Gruich, and Wilson being sold, we'll have bags of money for least 8 players. Exactly. Dortmund fans would write if they're bored sold this summer. Yeah, exactly.
They would, because as much as they know how their clubs run, they still want to compete for stuff.
Yeah, Jude is he's the main player. If you believe the reports, Real Madrid will only offer 90 million for Jude, and Liverpool offer 100 million for Jude. I just don't see Liverpool going into a bidding war with Real Madrid.
I don't think Madrid want him.
I think Madrid are just putting something out there.
I don't think they want him.
They just bought Tuchemeni and they got Camavinga.
Camavinga, it doesn't make sense for him to get.
And then the likelihood is that Valverde goes in with them. That midfield three. That would probably be their midfield.
Yeah, because Casemiro's still playing.
Yeah, Casemiro's still there. Modric has probably got another year at that level.
Oh, he's a baller, isn't he?
Cruz has probably got another year at that level. So, yeah, there's no room for anyone else at their midfield at the moment. Paul Joyce and Maddock keep dropping Jude in their stuff that say we'll get Cinnamon in 2023. What you're interested in him is a simple, why would journalists drop his name in there? Yeah, that's what Savage said earlier. Bellingham is potential, not like Fabinho level when we brought him. I don't about names, just the correct fit. Yeah, that's all I said. I've never ever been about superstar name players. If they don't fit your club, look at Man United. They go on YouTube and Twitter and see what's trending and buy that player without any acknowledgement if it fits a style of game of football. You know, right. There's this idiot out there. Right, I'm gonna actually name him.
Name him.
Right, he's called the Unofficial Pundit. I don't know if you know him.
Oh, he's a twat. Everyone hates him.
Man, right?
Is he still about?
Yeah, he's still about. He's still basically trolling everything.
He was dodging boxing fights 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, he's trolling everything that ain't Man United, basically. Even Man United fans hate him, right?
Yeah, they don't like him.
He's going on about, Man United have got to do what Man City and Liverpool are doing, and stop buying superstar players and start buying average players. Right? That's what he said. And I was like, and I looked at the replies under, because if I had commented, I would have gone forever and I've got in an argument. But so people commented and said, can you name the average players, please? Because, who are you on about? Especially from City and Liverpool, the 2 best teams in this country for the last few years. And you're saying they bought United have got to stop buying superstars and buy average players like them too. Who do you class as average players? You won't believe who he classes as average players. Jesus Christ. But he still thinks the best attack Man United have got is Rashford up top and Thingy through the middle, who went on loan last season.
Van der Beek.
No, the French guy. Martial. Tony Martial. He thinks Tony Martial and Rashford and Sancho is Man United's best front three. All because Martial had 1 good season in 7 years when he played the number 9 role. I follow him on Twitter because it's hilarious watching a grown man say things that are absolutely hilarious. And when he said average players like City and Liverpool, I think people are under their comments like, so who's average? Even Man United fans were under it going, like, please stop. Like, these 2 are the best 2. What average players are you talking about? Look at our own squad.
Weird. Yeah, I'm convinced he says stuff for outrage, man.
I don't know. I have no idea. I've seen his YouTube channel as well. The man he does think he's a pundit. He's got his big screen. He goes on the screen and pauses the game, draws lines, and tells everyone how they've made a mistake. That's like chill, man.
He's an idiot, man.
Lads, have you seen Kopic and Mo Kutcher are on the channel? He's a financial insider of Liverpool. He spoke about Liverpool and said we have been the richest.
Yeah.
We have been here, and he can see the wage bill being adapted. This is what I'm saying, man. Tony, I saw that, and this is why I'm quite thingy that Mo will stay. Because if they're saying they're going to put a massive midfield outlay next season, they must think Mo's staying, because if Mo's not, there ain't no midfielder coming in, because you've got to get a Mo replacement. And a Mo replacement is costing you 60 to 80 mil. Easy. So there's no midfield replacement. And then I think just as the season ended, there were some things on Twitter saying Liverpool feel very happy that Mo is going to sign a new contract now. So, yeah, I think we made 500 odd mil, didn't we, through revenue and stuff. So I've been saying this for a while now. I said I think FSG will just extend the wage structure of the club.
Yeah.
I reckon Mo will get 300k, and I think he'll sign it. I think Mo will get offered 300k, sign it, and then you got the top earner at our club will be a 300k top earner, which is a lot of money. It's a lot of money, because I do think people think everyone's on 400 grand a week around the world.
Yeah, I guess the only weird thing about it is, which is not his fault, but the weird thing about it is usually you get paid on what you're currently doing and it not what you've done before. And with Salah, we're going to be paying him extra money on what he's done before, because he wasn't that great last season. But I still said to you, didn't I? I feel like he'll probably be top goal scorer next season still, with more goals. So
I think he will, but I think he's going. I've said this. I think Mo's just going to have one of them mental seasons like he did before. He's got no summer tournament. He's got no World Cup in the winter. Man's going to be super rested.
Yeah, he takes care of himself. He ain't going to start to slow down till he's about 36, man. He's
And the man's in immense shape.
Yeah,
you know, he's still quick. He ain't slowed down. Yeah, he's just going to be. It's going to be different next season. Totally different. But just read the end of these, then we're going to get out of here, guys. Who's the ideal Salah replacement? Well, I think it's 2 players you have to buy. Personally, if you buy one person and tell him you're your Salah replacement, pressure straight away. So I think you need to buy 2 players.
Who are you thinking?
Fuck no idea. It's very hard. I don't know. I don't know who you get in. I really don't, because I've said this time and time again. Even if you went and got a Mbappe's not going to guarantee you Salah goals. As mad as that sounds, I don't think he guarantees you 30 goals every single season.
Especially from that position as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Him and Salah's quite they're quite similar in terms of, like, Mbappe's not as clinical as everyone thinks. They just don't watch the French league, but he ain't as clinical as everyone thinks.
He's just an exceptional footballer.
But he is a baller.
Yeah, he's just an exceptional footballer.
I don't know who I'll choose for that size, man. I mean, I don't think we'll get Bowen, so
it's difficult, ain't it? I don't know who's out there.
I'd probably choose Rafinha or Anthony. I think I've done a bit more research into both of them too, to be fair. Obviously, I know about Rafinha already, and Anthony, I watch him a bit because I just enjoy how he plays football, and he's the younger one.
I think Anthony would suit us more than Rafinha.
Yeah, he would. Although, I will say, the Rafinha thing, I know everyone keeps talking about his attitude and that, but if you go back and look through the season, there was one when everyone saw it because it was on screen, and the other one was just him talking about he just done it the same amount of time as Mane and Salah, to be honest.
Yeah,
but he is Prem proven.
Exactly. That is a thing.
But Anthony, Jesus, man, that guy's. The only thing is, I don't know if he can do all that trickery as much.
I don't have time to do that in the Premier League. That's the thing.
I think Diaz is the right amount. So if he can tone it down to that, because this guy is Neymar levels of trickery, man. So
yeah. I mean, you ain't
baller, and I don't think he'll cost too much.
You do that in the Premier League, you get smacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what happens. You ain't got time to
You get Tarkowski and them man taking your legs off, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was worried about. If we get a midfielder next season of Salah leagues, we need to, by the way. I agree, Danny. I totally agree. I do agree. That's why I got a feeling Mo is staying and he'll sign a new contract. Mo signs a new contract before the season starts. We're all uplifted, let's face it. I mean, we all go into that season on a high. Liverpool pay the most in bonuses. They certainly do. I wasn't surprised. Mane is near the same as Bobby, according to my own Coppish channel. I was shocked to see many say Mane's on 100 a week. Yeah, the thing with Mane, I never knew he was on 100 grand a week basic till it came out that he was leaving, so everyone got his money up. Because Sadio never moaned about it.
He doesn't, man. I only heard people mention it when Genie was leaving. Yeah, that's when I've heard about it.
Yeah, and then because Sadio don't moan about it. The thing is, though, if you don't moan to your bosses about your pay, your bosses are not going to pay you more.
Yeah,
it's simple as that.
I wouldn't put it past Mane getting more money just so he can give more to his country. To be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
he doesn't seem to like be that fussed about it.
I don't think it bothers him so much. I think what it was, he wanted to be acknowledged. I think the acknowledgement was the problem.
Yeah, which is fair enough. We did talk.
When you're offered the wage, it shows acknowledgement. So it's not really it's just the acknowledgement part of
I think the AFCON thing tipped him over the edge, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when he came back, people were talking about feeling sorry for Salah and that, bro.
Yeah, and I think it's always about Mo, ain't it? And this is
Yeah,
why
'cause I didn't give a shit. Everyone was calling me heartless and that, but I was like, listen, I care about Mo for Liverpool, not for Egypt. Like, it was nice watching them both play and that, but I don't give a damn what. Fix up. You're a grown man on hundreds of grand a week. Play football, bro.
I'm not Egyptian, so I couldn't care. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't give a damn, bro. Your team's trash. Let's be. Like, everyone's got to be honest, man. Salah didn't play good for Egypt, and his team was trash, bro. You know what I'm saying? And Mane didn't play exceptional for thingy either. That's why the Ballon d'Or's trash, isn't it? Because now that Mane didn't get it, Liverpool fans, let's all be honest, man. He didn't deserve it, did he? Let's be honest. Let's all be honest, man. We only said he deserved it based on trophies, but technically, bro, that's like saying, like, Taki should have got it. What? He wasn't the best player in the world, bro.
No, he weren't. That is so true.
Yeah,
I mean,
we gotta stop lying to ourselves, man.
The closest to it, to be fair, was Mo himself.
Yeah, it was.
He was. Let's be fair, he was the closest to it. As much as we don't want to be labelled a selling club, we can fall into it. Genie left because of wages on a free and PSG minds. The problem with the selling club, Manta, is they're being sold after their prime.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Before, we used to sell players before they reached their prime. Look at Suarez.
It used to be a selling club, I think.
Coutinho, Torres, that sort of. As I keep saying, Mane's going to Bayern Munich, and he's not going to be the Sadio Mane at Liverpool at Bayern Munich. He's 30 years old. He's not going to be that 27, 28 by Sadio Mane when he was arguably the best left-sided forward in world football at the time. That's back in a few years ago, 10 years ago, we would have sold Mane then.
100%.
That's when we would have sold Mane. When he was 27, 28, when he was lighting it up in world football, that's when we would have sold Mane. But Mane's gone at 30 years old, 6 years at the club, won everything, and his time has come. And he's not the player he once was. Look, I only remember Liverpool fans, all Liverpool fans getting upset because he's leaving, but I'm not saying it's this fan base here, our community, but a lot of Liverpool fans were saying that Mane's done.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going back. I wouldn't mind going back on the old Coppish clips on that.
Yeah, I won't say Mane's done.
I've seen people saying sell him now. I've seen people say sell Robbo as well at the beginning of the season.
Exactly. So I personally think Mane's going probably at the right time. We do need to change things.
I think it's the right time as well.
I am so split on Genie. I always have been. I don't think we missed Genie as a footballer.
No, it is
we missed his reliability.
Yeah.
That's what we missed, and and plus, I would have missed Genie more if it was the Dutch Genie we saw every week at Liverpool. That would have been different. The man getting on the edge of the box and getting in the box scoring goals consistently is a different Genie than the Genie that played at Liverpool. Thanks to the African legend. I do see we are improving, but losing Mane because of wages doesn't fit right to me. The only way you replace Salah is by a creative winger and a clinical goal scorer. Exactly.
Yeah.
Goal scorer upstep Nunes. Exactly. So an Anthony, I suppose, is more your creative winger, ain't he?
Yeah, that's literally what he does.
He's more of a winger. Yes, I agree. Mbappe's not clinical.
He's not.
Like Mane needs a few chances, but can score clutch goals. Yeah, exactly. Like in the World Cup and things like that.
Yeah, to be fair, any game, if you're not watching the French league, any game you see Mbappe scored a hat trick, he probably could have scored 9 or 10 in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Don't that sound like Mo to you, though?
Yeah, it's just like him, but he is a baller all rounder.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a better footballer than Mo. Let's get. I'm going to put that out there. I love Mo Salah the bits, but if anyone tells me he's not a better footballer, then and Mbappe is just technically beautiful to watch.
Levels, man. So young as well.
I just love him. But clutch goals, the thing about clutch goals and stuff like that, I think is very important. I saw people talking about Mahrez last season because Mahrez got over 20 odd goals in all competitions last season. But Mahrez scores goals when Man City are already 2-0 up.
Wait. Apart from the Champions League, though.
Yeah.
Champions League is where most of the goals he scored the first goal, but you are right.
First goal. But in the Premier League,
Yeah.
a lot of his goals always come when City have already won the game and he bags goals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why I like Mahrez. I think he's a baller. But
Yeah.
when I look at him, I was like, I'd rather have Mo, because people were saying, some City fans were saying he's better than Mo Salah this season. I'm like, whoa.
No, it wasn't better. No.
Whoa. Mo gets the opening goal or the finishing goal. Do you know what I mean? He's like, when you this is where stats always lead a problem. When you see someone 15 goals in the season, but you can go look back at their goals, and they always scored the third or the fourth one in every single match. It's not really like, you know what I mean? I
think a lot of people keep giving us stats with no context, to be honest. I try and find most of the context behind stuff, because, even with Liverpool players playing certain minutes and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of them looks like they've played way more minutes, and why is Klopp making them play? But if you look at our games, I'm like, mate, we've got the ball all the time. Ain't no running. Even in games against Everton and that, where we just had the ball, and Hendo when that's on the pitch, they ain't doing any running. He's just crossing the ball in.
Yeah.
But on the stats, it will show you that he's played 3,000 something minutes. But most of the games last season were like that. What can you think of a game where we was ran ragged by anyone apart from that Man City game? The second.
Only the City game where we were run ragged.
Yeah.
Maybe Wolves in the end of the game and last day.
Oh yeah, Wolves are weird. That was a weird game, though.
But that was weird all round.
I don't ever want to be in that position again unless we win, because watching Bobby and Salah score and a few people celebrating was weird.
Yeah, it's like Robbo scored, didn't he? And then Robbo said he's never heard Anfield so quiet.
I think Salah said that he asked the fan as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
He said he scored, and then he said while he was celebrating, he asked the fan if Man City scored, and they said yeah, and then he just walked off.
He's like, fuck it.
I think Salah's lying, though. I really think he asked, has Son scored?
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Well, what's the Norwich score? Did Son score?
Yeah, he's like, I don't think we'll win the league anyway. But what happened with Son? Has he scored yet?
All right, Son, if you're ever watching this, if you want to come to Liverpool, you can come here, mate.
Tremendous. Son is more clinical than Mo. I've said this.
He's more clinical than anyone in the Prem, maybe.
I keep saying that and I get shut down, but Son is
I mean, if they don't want to believe it, they can check the stats if they want. It's a fact, bro. This geezer's ruthless.
If you're having Son on a one-on-one and Salah on a one-on-one, Son will score more goals than Salah on one-on-one.
Son petrifies me when he's running at us, man.
Very quick. He's deceptive. He doesn't look as quick as you think he is.
No, he's deceptively quick, isn't he?
Very quick. He's got a good strike pattern.
Watch him in that 2018 World Cup. He was balling out, man. When they beat Germany, absolute player, man. Sadly for him, he plays for Tottenham, and he's going to end his career with nothing, bro.
Jamie, I massively disagree with Genie. Was crucial to the way we played to get us in the pinnacle. The way he broke up play, ball retention, and the way he drove with the backup. No, I agree. I do agree. I just don't think we missed him this season as a footballer compared to what everyone else did.
Yeah.
We actually scored more goals from midfield this season than we did any time Genie was.
Yeah, we did.
So
also, we changed the way we play. No one spoke about that, but I'm telling you, Trent wasn't doing that midfield thing he was doing this season, the season before. No,
Trent kept coming in the right centre midfield area, didn't he?
I'm hoping that's different the season coming up, because if it is, then I think it'll be better for us. Because the interesting thing is, well, people are talking about not being able to replace Salah and stuff like that, which is fair enough. But you'll find out if he scores the same amount of goals or more with Nunes playing, then you're correct. But if he doesn't and he falls off and he gets like 15 goals, then which is a fall off for Salah, not a fall off in general. Yeah. Then you'll know that it's not the truth, bro. We can be replaced because wingers are going to do.
And the women's Sun's country career are stunning.
Yeah, to be fair, the K-pop girls on that, bro.
They are very pretty ladies, no doubt about that. Son ain't an ugly man himself, to be fair, is he? So,
yes.
For me, no, really lost it. Liverpool can release him.
Oh, release him. That's
can't get rid of Bobby. I don't care. I'm going to be sentimental here. I'm keeping.
Yeah, I don't care. I'd rather Bobby run his contract down and just once, man.
We need a goal scoring midfielder. I think a lot of teams need a goal scoring midfielder. I mean, what goal score? Let's have a look at it.
Maddison.
Apart from Man City, how many teams have got goal scoring midfielders?
Only Man City, and that's because
that's what I'm trying to think of right now.
Only Man City, and that's because they don't have any strikers.
But their midfielders are up front as well.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. On the stats, it will show you that their midfielder scored But if you see where they play like where Mane and Salah play. So
Yeah, Phil
technically,
Foden plays false 9.
Foden, Sterling, Mahrez, Jesus, they all play like how Salah and Mane play. So
So
Bruno for Man U, but last season, as soon as Ronaldo come in, he stopped scoring. Who's Arsenal? Nah, Odegaard probably scored about 4 goals. It looks like he scored loads, but I bet you it's about 4.
yeah, it's
Nah, no one does. Tottenham don't have any either.
no one really has goal scoring midfield. I'm trying to think of it now. Mason Mount for Chelsea, probably.
Yeah, that's it, Mason Mount.
But then it's because Chelsea haven't got no attack. Because if Chelsea had,
Yeah, if Lukaku
Chelsea,
was scoring, he wouldn't have scored so many goals.
If Lukaku was banging 30 goals a season, I don't think Mason Mount would have got 10. So looking at it,
so basically, it's just the English dudes, and it's Maddison and
Maddison gets goals for Leicester, but
so
then
Maddison and Mount, they're friends as well, man. The homers.
Yeah, and none of the forward line for Leicester actually score now.
Nah, Wolves, no. West Ham, no.
There's not a lot of goal scoring midfielders in the league apart from Man City.
Stephen Duffy says Tielemans 9 goals, 8 assists. See, it's Leicester again.
Yeah, Leicester again. So there ain't a lot.
And that's because Vardy was injured.
Yeah, and if you remember, I mean, Fabinho got 7 goals last season.
He did.
Fabinho got 7 goals. Henderson got a few. Thiago probably got a couple.
I think Hendo's happy to score 1 banger a season, and then he goes back to defending, bro.
So there ain't, apart from Leicester and Man City, I can't think of a lot of goal-scoring midfielders in any team in the Premier League.
No.
Leicester and Man City are probably the 2. But as I said, with Leicester and Man City, they both don't have forwards.
Nah, their only proper goal-scoring midfielders really Man City is De Bruyne and Rodri.
Yeah, I mean, look
and Bernardo, actually. Bernardo scores a lot of goals.
Yeah, De Bruyne got 14 goals. That's what you need. Look, we're so used to having Steven Gerrard as a goal-scoring midfielder. But before that, with Steven in the midfield, no other midfielder scored goals.
Stephen Duffy says Ward-Prowse again, but yeah. To be fair, half of his goals are free kicks, bro. Madness.
They're like set pieces, ain't they? They're like,
yeah, that's mad. He scores them like the penalties, man.
Yeah.
Who's else there? Bruno for that? Nah. Tony K says Maddison is getting. Yeah, man. I said we've been saying Maddison, TK. I just seem like.
Actually, how many goals have never scored for Wolves in the whole Premier League time he's been there?
I bet it's less than we think.
I bet it's less than what Fabinho scored this season.
Never's. He scored quite a lot of goals from outside the box, but
yeah, I see him scoring crackers, like 3 a season or something.
You know what it is, Jay? If you score a banger from outside the box every 7 games, it looks like you scored loads of goals.
Yeah,
everyone remembers them. Because Moutinho's the same for Wolves. He looks like he scores loads of bangers and that, but oh no, man! I really want Maddison at Liverpool. You know,
I love.
If Ox goes, he is the 17-18 Ox everyone was talking about. That's how Maddison plays football, bro.
Yeah.
And looking at his, like, I know he loves Leicester and all that business, but he ain't a Leicester boy, is he? So
no.
Come on, man.
Right, so these were our goal scorers last season. So Mo had 23, Mane had 16, Jota had 15, Bobby had 5, considering he was injured all season. Taki had 3, Fabinho had 5 in the league, 2 in the cup. So he has 7. He got 8 goals in total. Right, I was reading the wrong bit, sorry. So Salah got 31 in total, Mane got 23 in total, Jota got 21 in total, and we all said Jota's dead. It's mad. Bobby got 11 goals in total last season. Yeah. Look how injured he was. Taki got 10. That's mad.
Come on, Taki.
Fabinho got 8 goals last season. Luis Diaz got 6 goals last season. Naby Keita got 4 goals last season. Jordan Henderson,
2 of them were volleys, man.
Jordan Henderson got 3 goals last season. Ox got 3 goals last season.
Big up Ox, man.
Elliot got a goal last season. So...
Hey, Henderson don't score crap goals, does he?
No, he only scores bangers. Do you think? I think Maddison's better than Grealish.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think Maddison's better.
I think he's a better footballer.
And that's not because of anything Grealish has done at City, by the way. I've always thought he's better.
Yeah, I've always liked Maddison. Yeah. I know Drifty and Kopish does as well. He rates Maddison highly. I think Maddison's well underrated. I have no idea.
You know when if Maddison's stats seem off, and then people like to make up stuff instead of actually checking.
Mm.
It's because he's not playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he picked up a few injuries and not like injury prone. He got injured in the game, but I watched him against us in the League Cup as well live. He's a baller, man.
Oh, I think Maddison's great. I think you put Maddison in this Liverpool midfield right now, it completely changes the way we play.
Yeah.
Completely changed.
And he loves an assist, man. He loves it.
Yeah, he's a great player. I mean, that's what I think. If you don't score goals, he's setting someone up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So when we look at midfield footballers who scored, he scored. Fabinho got 8 goals. You know, who else was it? You know, in midfield, Keita got 4. You know, Hendo got 3. So people did, step up in that midfield.
Judging off what all the players you just read out, if I'm honest, and I'm thinking about Curtis and Elliott and Carvalho, I think they can match all them goals. Not obviously all together, but if you look at individuals they match up with, I reckon they can score more goals. All of them.
Yeah. That's why we keep saying this is what Jurgen Klopp looks at.
Yeah.
This is what Jurgen Klopp looks at.
Carvalho, Curtis, and Elliott, they could get just about 8 goals each just in the FA Cup and League Cup, and then in the Prem 3 or 4, and they'll be on like 15.
No, it's just mad. Oh, we going to get 10 million for Fulham for this season? I think so. Yeah,
I think it's this season. Yeah, and Gruitch as well.
Through this season. Yeah, Tony. I think Grealish could be used in that position against United. 10, and on the left, Maddison, from what I've seen, can only play 10. Yeah. I still think his all-round game is better. So at the end of the day, Jack Grealish might look better on the eye because he's going round people, like with his dribbling skill. So he goes round people. But Grealish's end product is nowhere near as good as Maddison's.
No, if Maddison played for Villa, they'd see him exactly the way they saw Grealish, but better.
Yeah. I think Maddison has better end product.
They built the team around
Grealish. Grealish is better looking on the eye. You know, he's better on the eye when you do the eye test.
Yeah. When
you watch Grealish on the eye, you think baller, looks great. But when you see what Maddison gives you an end product, it's better, in my opinion. Right, guys, we're going to leave it there because we've been going on forever. I will be back tomorrow with another transfer show tomorrow afternoon, guys. And, seeing what's happening tomorrow. Probably talk about Sadio Mane and break down his deal to Bayern Munich, guys. We'll look at that.
You want in the morning or midday tomorrow?
Be half 12 tomorrow.
What day is it today? Friday?
I am not on tomorrow till tomorrow night because my wife, I've just remembered, my wife is at a festival tomorrow. She's doing her stall. She's got her own business and she's doing a stall tomorrow at a big festival around our way. So hopefully she has a successful weekend.
She got a website for a stall and stuff?
Yes, she's got a Facebook shop at the moment. She hasn't
Get
got
the logo, man, so we can slap up on the channel as a sponsor.
Yeah, I will, definitely will. She's got a. Let me see if I can find her.
Because that would be dope, man. Because you know what I mean? I'm sure, like.
Yeah, what I would do, because I said to her what I can do, I can put it in like as a website on the channel. You can go and check out. Yeah, because she makes like loads of craft stuff. So she makes like purses, wallets, t-shirts, handbags, all this sort of stuff. And she has loads of different materials. So if people like Star Wars and you want like a Star Wars t-shirt or something, she can make you that. Or
dope.
Marvel stuff she's got. Yeah, she does all of it. She's just making loads of Liverpool cups at the moment. She's making like loads and loads of Liverpool cups. And with like people like Salah's face on it and stuff.
Oh,
like
sick one.
Things like that. So yeah, what I can do, next time I'm live tomorrow, she's got a spare few, I can put them up and show everyone.
Yeah.
So she's doing that tomorrow. So when she comes home from that, I'll be on in Saturday evening, guys. Catch me that, and Sunday evening over the weekend. So I'll be live on the weekend, but in the evening, guys. So till then, we got to
everyone in the chat, man. Hit the like button before you leave, and
exactly.